his Twitter account, and I was like, oh,
Yours
what
wasn't
is that?
Yours wasn't. I privated mine.
You should have.
Well, mine's private.
I don't know, Shame. Why am I gonna private my Twitter?
Like,
you want to see my DM? Go look at it.
I didn't know your face was on there.
Did you actually like looking?
No, I seen Joe's butt in the picture. I was like, I don't need to see no more Joe. This is Joe's life over here. I'm not trying to get into this.
Yours been a little sloppy.
No, I deleted my Twitter. My little sister did. And I was like, fuck that. I ain't being on Twitter with you.
Yeah!
You do not need to see what the hell I'm looking at.
Twitter's terrible. Don't follow me on Twitter. Don't even.
All the gay guys or something?
I'm totally gonna follow you on Twitter.
Probably gayer than I can possibly
can't.
imagine.
Why not?
Because I have to add you.
Let me.
So you have to request to even look at my stuff, and then
You do not want to be their friends, Mikey. You're not old enough.
You don't want to follow Twitter.
Mikey, if you follow me on Twitter, you're going to see a lot of stuff of me you don't ever want to see in reality.
You're gonna see what that dog mask is really for.
Pretty much.
I stopped going on my Twitter like 2 weeks ago. I opened it up today, just boobs. I'm like, okay.
That's what Twitter's full of.
It's the internet. Do you expect any less?
They keep all the league updates on there, for sure.
Did you get fries?
I don't really see any point in having Twitter unless you're going to just look at porn on there.
That's pretty much what it is. It's
That's
free porn.
exactly what it is.
All I use it for now is the league, so.
Yeah, or you can keep up with certain
That's
stuff.
amateur porn. And amateur porn is the real porn, so that's the best porn.
Vines and Snapchat, where you can put porn on.
You can put porn on mine. What?
Yeah, it only lasts 6 seconds.
Yeah, that's what you get in 6 seconds.
Like you know James's sex life.
So when you're behind someone, you can just be like, boom, that's his booty.
Don't worry, man. I got you this
That's me.
NDK.
That's me.
I got you.
6 humps and that's all you get.
I'm bringing a case of Viagra and Extends. We're gonna pump you full of.
I don't need any of that.
We're gonna pump you so full of that shit, man. You're gonna be breaking shit.
It's going to turn into the Hulk.
Pretty much. Well, only down
It's
there.
gonna go green.
You might get that checked if it turns in this one.
Yeah, you should.
Alright.
I talked to the guy who knows a little bit about that.
A little bit.
Because I took a biology class.
Just
Or 5 or 10.
I took one
Yeah.
once, and I
Let's go
hated
make
it.
dinner. I want dinner. I want a home-cooked meal.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you once again to Going From Otaku. Yeah, how long do you think this will be recording?
It's been recording for 2 minutes.
3.
I was close. I never used that.
Yeah, so y'all been listening to some very interesting things here. As always, I am Manta Ray. With me is Wabi-Kun.
Hi, I'm eating.
Also, Master Chef, who's back from vacation. We also have our glorious gay couple,
Yay, pop color.
Joe and Damon. Welcome, guys.
Pop
Thank you
color.
for joining us.
Pop color. Pop color.
Alrighty.
So I'm gonna start this out because we had an interesting debate because it was kind of funny because Ray and James here, they were arguing what would win, a Pokemon or a Gundam.
Okay.
So I'm gonna open this up to debate with you two.
Okay, so
and
you
I'm
got-
gonna let James go first.
Okay, so you're refereeing this, correct?
Yep.
You're gonna be the neutral party.
Well, the whole point was,
As far as you know.
the whole thing is that I had just got a plushie for Vaporeon, and the whole debate was that a Gundam would win out on a Pokemon.
Guaranteed. No
Guaranteed,
doubt.
Guaranteed, no doubt. And the funny thing is that we were talking about it, and I decided that we're gonna throw in something that doesn't happen in the anime world, but would still make more sense. Real world physics. You got a suit.
Hold on. You're bringing real world physics
Yep.
into something that contains the Pokemon.
Yep. Well, think about it. Real world physics does happen in Pokemon. We have weaknesses, type weaknesses that actually make sense to a degree. When they got rid of rock, ground is good versus rock, that was just time when they said fuck you reality.
That still exists, though.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
I tried to do it, and it
Ground's
didn't work.
never been weak to rock, but rock has always been
No, weak to ground. That was the whole point.
Okay,
I
hold on.
tried
Before
to
we go
use
any further,
Earthquake on
how's that possible?
Okay, so rocks don't make rocks bigger. Ground
Yep.
is essentially another type of rock. You're essentially using ground
Yep.
to
Weather
break
away
apart
the rock.
rock.
So wearing away,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of like the
Russian
mechanics
bow
that they're
whole thing
getting
of it.
there.
It's like how ice is good against fire.
No. Fire's good against ice, but ice isn't good against fire.
But like for Soul Sacrifice, ice is good against fire because
Different
the
game.
ice melts and it turns into
Okay,
water.
you're bringing a different game, so that's
Different game.
yeah.
We're just
We have to stick to Pokemon logic and Gundam.
Okay, all right.
It's those sort of things. So what we're talking about is we're talking about mass amount of metal, and you gave the example of, oh, this is something that could go through the atmosphere and
Yeah, we
turn
could
into
come straight through the atmosphere. Nothing wrong with us. We're good.
Yeah.
But anything that, just like what he's about to say, is anything that comes through the atmosphere becomes superheated. If we look at this with asteroids coming into our atmosphere, it never hits ground because they essentially burn up before they do.
Okay, now let me give you an example. Oh wait, hold on.
First off, they do hit the ground. They're just pebbles.
Not all of them do though.
Most of them actually explode in the air
Yeah.
due to the heated force.
and the little
Now-
bits just vaporized.
Here's some of my examples for that. Now, the original RX-78, granted, when it first entered the atmosphere during a space combat, when it came out and actually stayed in the Earth's atmosphere below, like the clouds and everything, it was badly damaged and was burned. But later on in other series, they came through, and some of the times they landed in water and nothing happened to them. There was no cracks, no damage done. So, entered to the atmosphere and then hitting instantly water, which probably would have made the metal very brittle and probably explode on contact due to the heat.
No. And I'll tell you why it won't at that point. Because at that point, you come through the atmosphere. At that point, then you're hitting terminal velocity, which won't get you hot enough. And at the angle. This is why when we did the first space flights and they had to do the landings inside the little capsules, they were alright. Most of them actually shot for the sea because it was guaranteed to break their fall. Now, no, what I'm saying is while it's in that critical point, if something like to say, yeah, like a hydropump
How the hell? Okay, here's my question: how the hell are you gonna get a water type Pokemon up that high?
It doesn't need to be a
Keep
water
it
type
alive.
Pokemon though, because you can do Dragonite, you can do anything that can fly. A lot of weird things learn water attacks. In the first game,
Okay,
the
hold up,
most
hold up,
annoying
hold up,
fact
hold up,
was
hold up. Nope, you gotta stop right there.
Okay.
We bring in Hydro Pump. Let's talk about the accuracy of Hydro Pump.
I know.
Fine.
We're gonna do
Skull. Let's just make no, that example super
No, but at the same time, okay, you want to look at the but do you know why Hydro Pump does so much damage? And why it has such bad accuracy? Because actually what the Hydro Pump is an actual reference to are the Hydro Cutters, which
Yeah, I know.
actually cut steel, first off.
Okay, well first off, my Gundams ain't just made of steel.
I know.
They're made of
But
way
we're
tougher
talking about
material.
if you heat it while it's in the atmosphere
Gundamium.
going through that pivotal drop.
It's a metal found in the Gundam universe that most of the Gundams are all made of. It's very rare, and that's why you only see it very.
kind of like Mithril.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's basically what it is.
Cool.
Actually, Mithril is not so now.
I'm just saying.
I know, I'm just saying.
Just
It would be more like Kurtosis, which is the Star Wars equivalent of it. It resists lightsabers.
Well, I'm just saying. The
Yeah,
whole discussion is Gundam versus Hydro Pump in that superheated state. What would happen? In natural physics, which we're not speaking natural here, anything that's superheated that is cooled,
It's a metal.
that is a metal that's cooled to an extreme extent, will become brittle and break.
Okay,
Who's to
but-
say that your metal that is forged the same way for the Gundams will not happen?
Or
Well, we
don't
still
even
have the
to do
problem
Hydro
of getting a
Pump.
Pokemon that knows Hydro Pump up into that
Okay,
area.
give me a
At,
Pelipper.
at the same time, is coming down at the same time with me.
Okay,
As
give
we're
me an
entering the
army
atmosphere.
of Pelipper.
Give me Articuno. Yeah, we can even take it one step forward. Give me
Okay.
an Articuno. Articuno knows Ice Beam.
Okay, well,
That's gonna cool it
we're
down
kinda going-
really stupid
when you
fast.
say Army Pelipper, we're kind of going one-on-one here.
No, I know, but let's okay,
If you
then
want to
let's
make
take-
it fair, bring on 100.
Okay, let's bring it fair then. Let's go Articuno or Lugia.
Okay,
They
well,
both can learn.
well here, if you're gonna bring Articuno in it, I'm gonna go
How
with.
about this?
Okay.
How big are your Gundams?
Are you
Roughly.
like 50 feet tall?
Oh,
150
Okay,
meters to 180 meters, I
Okay,
think.
give me a
Is-
way.
that's a
Don't
rough
listen
estimate.
to me. I'm not happy with Gundams.
okay, give me a well lord. Roughly the largest Pokemon in the game.
All I can think of right now is the Waylon Skinny.
Give me a Wailord.
Wailord, use body slam.
Waylon
it's
Skinny,
not
I got
that.
tickled.
It's not that. It's one of those weird things that Skinny
Well,
can actually.
how big is a Wailord?
Wailord is 40 feet.
40 feet? I am probably at least 3 times that size.
Okay,
Any
well,
Gundam is 3 times that
Still,
size.
that Hydro Pump is still going to be relatively
large.
large enough, coming from a Wailord 40 feet long.
Well, how fast can a Wailord move?
It's a whale.
It's a whale.
Okay, so
Whales
probably
are-
not very
whales-
fast.
Actually,
Which
whales
means
are
it
very
probably,
fast.
which probably means it can't turn on a dime. See,
How does it-
Okay, here, Wailord versus one of my.
Here we go. If we
Okay.
put it in that technical sense, Wailord is 40 feet long,
Mhm.
but its weight, if you look it up, is not. It's a float. It's categorized as a float whale.
So it's
Pokemon.
full of hot air.
So it's think of it like a water balloon. It will be able to move because it's not as heavy.
Okay. All right. Now here, you're bringing up a Wailord. Let me bring up one of my favorite Gundams, Heavy Arms. Now this guy has a shit ton of missiles, and depending on which version, he either has one giant Gatling gun, one Gatling gun that either fits on his arm, or he's got 2 twin Gatling guns for each hand. Now we're just gonna go with version 1, which is just he's got chest missiles. He's also got shoulder pad missiles, and he's got 1 single Gatling gun.
He has leg missiles too.
Oh, and leg missiles.
Wailord, learn protect.
And he has a
Now-
sword and knife.
Now, if he sword and knife, if he wastes all his ammo, then sword and knife. He'll go in and he'll just stab the bitch.
Okay. Well,
Now we're talking about this guy using bullets that fly probably faster than the speed of sound. And we're talking about missiles with lock-on capabilities and blast radius.
Okay.
Now you
I have a Pokeball.
therefore your Pokemon retreats, and I win the battle.
Just saying, I can go to the streets and have another Wailord. I just have an army of Wailord.
Once again, we're saying 1v1.
1v1?
You can't just keep throwing out different
But
Pokemon.
I'm a
Oh,
Pokemon
and hold
trainer.
on. If we're going by reality rules, you can only have 6 on you at the time.
That's cool.
Okay,
If you
12
just keep
v1.
on rolling.
I would still win.
Okay, I think we're done with this argument. Post in the comments below or send us an email. What do you think would win, a Gundam or a Pokemon?
It's
I still
no
think
doubt.
it's
It's gonna be a Gundam. All
Nah,
Gundams
Okay,
will
can I
protect.
just bring up the next thing?
Yes, go.
Did you notice McDonald's has instructions on how to pack your bag?
Actually, I noticed.
bag. On the bag itself, they have instructions on how your bag is supposed to look.
Let me just say something. Looking at the bottom of the bag, looking at the bottom of this McDonald's bag, I've seen the way they put the food in. That is not how they put the food in.
So,
I have-
this is what I think I'm going to do. Next time I get a little bit of money and I go to McDonald's, I'm going to order about this much of food. Either 3 burgers and 2 small fry, or 2 burgers and 1 large fry.
About the bottom of the
Or-
bag.
or-
and
no,
just
no, no,
hand it
no,
to
no,
the
no.
person
Those are
they
medium
give
fries.
money
I'm
to.
going to have to order more and see if they actually do it this way. If they don't do it that way, they don't follow their instructions.
Usually
What does
they do.
McDonald's do about that if they don't?
Okay, so can I just
Yeah.
like double that? Okay, so the item count for that is 4 to 6 items,
Okay, so just
not
saying.
the
But
3 that it shows.
Look
or
at the
4 that it
picture
shows.
though.
They're supposed to be stacked a certain way.
Yeah. They actually have instructions.
I just think it would have been funnier if you had just clipped it out, and the next time you go to it, you give the lady your order, you go to give her the money, and you hand her that too.
Well, just
oh,
walk in and be
sorry,
like,
I
hey,
wasn't prepared."
this doesn't match.
Although it could be like that one guy who did that video on YouTube who ordered food and was like, hey, this doesn't look like the picture.
Well,
Oh,
you
you're
realize that they actually have photographers that are trained to take pictures of food.
Yes.
That is what they get paid for.
Okay,
It's like
here's
the
a little
thing about,
here's a
like,
little
ice cream.
trivia for you. The milk that they use in the cereal, that's not real milk.
It's like
It's
ice
blue.
cream. It's like ice cream.
Because they're not
Ice cream is
advertising
not
the
actual
milk.
ice cream that.
Okay,
They
before
do
we
that.
get into McDonald's secret and stuff, let me just go next subject.
Next subject.
Okay.
Next subject.
All right, next subject.
Funny.
This is something that I'm a little bit pissed off about, and a lot of gaming websites, a lot of movie websites have been doing this. It's where they would put a false title. You know, you go onto Facebook and you see, like, for movie pilot, you know, they're like, oh, the Avengers could be facing this, or you know, oh, they're going up, or you know, Batman is going against this guy, and then you click on it and it's like, oh, here's Avengers 2 coming out on this day, You know, we don't have a plot or anything for it. We don't have shit for it. But guess what else is coming out that weekend? It's another goddamn King Arthur movie. That's who the Avengers are going to be facing that fucking summer.
You know what's sad? Don skipped my subject, and now I'm sad.
Hold on, you're next.
No, you skipped.
You know what this kind of rant kind of reminds me of?
Yeah.
If you ever remember, like, back in our high school days, you know, give or take, like, 4 or 6 or 7 years ago, kind of.
More.
I'm going with 8.
Depending on your age. And you used to surf YouTube because this was, like, way before Facebook got big. And then you'd be watching...
MySpace, we all remember that.
And you'd be watching your favorite, you know, guy making videos, and then you're like, okay, what's the next one? What's the next one? And you get that fucking video with that guy dancing and singing. I forget what that is. Just
It's Rick Roll.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what this rant reminds me of.
He's from.
This is actually what's
Rick
happening.
Ashley.
They're Rickrolling you
It's
by giving you a false they're giving you a false advertisement to promote something else that nobody is gonna ever see.
it's more or less of a rage factor. People make these things because they know it's gonna make you rage.
And they also get the views on YouTube and stuff because, and then promotes channel and oh look, I just made like $10 off this one video.
I don't care that, you know, YouTube's doing this because that's been around forever. Since
it's the same
Recon
thing.
Armor for Halo 3.
But with doing it for when websites start doing shit like
It's
this,
the same thing though. They do get paid.
They get
on
paid.
the-
they get paid for clicks and views.
Think about it this way: the Fallout count timer.
Yeah, but that was done by one guy who was just wanted to troll.
That's basically what they're doing. It's the same thing, really.
What they're trying to do is they
It's
said.
annoying.
Yeah, but he didn't do it to get views or anything. He just did it to be an asshole. These guys are doing it because for every click they get onto the website, that's another $1 in their pocket. So they can post anything.
Oh no,
It's like, oh, that's
he
gonna
could
be
go the same way. Like he could have done it just to troll and to get money.
But he didn't get money.
But he didn't because he didn't do anything.
Because there were no advertisements or anything.
Yeah, there's no advertisements. No nothing.
They exist.
So this is what's pissing me off.
It's pure troll, but if you know, half the things that you click on Facebook, you got to realize they might not be true. And if you do click on it, make sure you find a different source with the almost exactly, verbatim kind of thing. But you just look for your sources. That's the best thing to do. Like.
The worst thing in life is when a video game
It's
tells
kinda
you the truth, but Skyla, one of the characters from Animal Crossing, the first and the last thing she always tells you is, whenever you get a rumor, you should make sure it's true before you go spreading it.
Animal Crossing teaches you life lessons.
But here's the problem.
Animal Crossing
They're not
is
exactly
creepy.
spreading a rumor. They're just giving you short little information. Like there's no details or anything.
Well,
It's just like, oh, these guys are gonna face this guy at the movie theaters. But they're setting up to seem like they have more information on that certain movie. Whereas they're using a certain movie to promote this small film, which I don't mind if you promote a small film. Just make sure you're actually promoting it and not tricking us into clicking the goddamn link.
Or it's kind of like this. I was on Facebook the other day, and somebody shared this thing, who shared this, whatever. And it was what? Channing Tatum is gay? Naturally. I'm going to click on that just to see if it's true. It's just, nope, we got you, share this with somebody else. And I was like, huh.
Okay, now those ones I can understand. Those ones are pretty funny.
But still, it's the same thing. They do it for troll, because I personally would be like, hey, Channing Tatum, be gay. Just so I can
Whereas
I knew it.
Whereas other companies are like, they're being trollish, but they also want money.
True.
All right.
It comes down to the green.
So we're gonna kind of move. Okay, so we're gonna move on now. Wabi-Kun here has some information from us. If you were here last time, or if you listened to our last video,
Which you should. Be very mad at you guys' disappointment.
Kutra, a
Finger
famous
shame.
YouTuber and a live streamer, was recently swatted. He was in Littleton, Colorado, where their base is and everything. He was doing a live stream. Some asshole decided to call SWAT on him, saying he had a bomb or a gun. On live stream, he completely.
To be fair, he was playing
Counter-Strike.
And he
Where
was on
it's
the
terrorist win or counter-terrorist win. So.
It was kind of funny because he was a terrorist at that time. But anyways,
But apparently people, the guy who did it came out on Twitter saying that he did it. People called him an asshole. But later on, more rumors started to fly. Wabi-Kun has got some news for us. So Wabi-Kun, go ahead, take us away.
okay, so earlier in the week, I was going through just checking up all this stuff. I was like, oh well, this is very interesting. Let's see if anything's new about this SWAT story. And apparently, the first website I read was National Report, and it said, okay, so it states that the person that came out and said that he swatted Kutra is getting 25 years to life for wasting taxpayers' money and like a whole
Because I believe they did say it was a federal offense.
Yeah, it was a federal offense because you're doing a false call. So, so they had this whole this page had a whole fake trial, had like a whole thing that was just completely fake, and it seemed legitimate because like you read it was very detailed. It was very
knowing our justice system, nothing happens that fast.
Well, nothing happens that detailed.
Yeah,
True.
nothing's released that detailed.
Hey, OJ, call us.
Okay, anyways, but so they released that, and I was like, oh wow, this is very interesting. Going through the comments, I'm reading, and I'm like, oh, everyone's saying he doesn't deserve 25 years, all this other stuff. But you know what? Like to me, it's like you're wasting all our resources. You're wasting our money, especially us that live in Colorado, because that's all of our money.
Yeah, we're not getting that. Those people aren't getting it from our weed, so you know.
Yeah, but it's still like seriously, dude. Stop wasting our time. Stop wasting our money. Well, to find out that earlier today, actually, I go on International Business Times, and this is a website that one of my history teachers told me to always look at because, you know, it's always got to be legitimate. So they posted a story today at, what time is that? 5:02, so like 3 o'clock here in Colorado, stating that a false report stating that a teenager was arrested, sentenced to 25 years in prison for swatting, which Don defined already, has been doing rounds on social media. So the article said that he was doing it to like multiple people throughout the years. So
okay, so Kutra wasn't his first victim.
No, according to the article.
Okay, according to it.
And then it continues to say the hoax article was first published by National Report.
Oh.
You want to read that? Go, it's right after National Report. I'll let you read.
Master Chef is gonna say something.
I am a good reader.
Oh,
Just read the rest of the paragraph. Just read the rest of the paragraph.
Nice and
No,
loud.
out loud.
I know, that's not what I'm talking about. You're right down there.
Right,
So you're just looking.
National Report right there.
Okay. Satirical website known for publishing fake articles, and later it was carried by the New York Meta and Secrets of the Fed.com website. Sounds like real grade A website.
So wait, let me get this straight. A troll website posts a news article claiming to have the entire thing for the trial, and the guy has already been sentenced, and the other news stations pick it up.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly what happened.
And that's why you don't believe the internet. I mean,
Yeah.
Google is your friend, but Google is also a
There
bastard.
was one that went about 2 days ago, and I knew it wasn't true because there was no Facebook, no nothing about it. It was just like one little fake thing. But they were saying that Mel Gibson died, and I was just like, nah.
Oh yeah, there's always Mel Gibson,
okay,
Will
so,
Smith, Bruce Willis.
Anyway, so
or how many times have we killed off what's
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby?
Poor Bill Cosby. No. Those were actually like, those were the funny things because they were other people named
Yeah, how
Bill
many times
Cosby.
have we killed off Morgan Freeman whenever a
Oh
celebrity
God.
died? I mean, he's old as dirt, yes. I love you, Morgan Freeman, if you watch this. But
Judges are not, but we'll tag
you
him. We'll see what
never
happens.
know.
But he's not dead. This guy's kicking. He's alive and kicking, and we know well.
I'm betting money that he'll survive the rest of us.
So, anyways, the article continues to say, according to National Report, basically sums up what I started with. The 15-year-old Paul Horner was sentenced to 25 years in prison and charged of domestic terrorism in the Louisiana courtroom. First off, like through like 2 articles I saw, it all came like they said the courthouse was in L.A., California.
That makes no sense. It would be done here.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
It would be done where the crime was committed.
Facts, and you're getting them wrong.
How did you go from Louisiana to California?
How did you go from Colorado to Louisiana? It's like, anyways.
How did you go from Colorado, Louisiana, L.A.?
Sorry, that's too good.
L.A., California. Who knows? All right. Now, is there anything else?
Yeah, there's still more.
Anything important?
Hold on. No, that's pretty much it. But it's like, seriously, guys, it's going back to the previous article, or the previous topic. Like, don't believe everything you see. Once again, go to your sources. Look up, like, legitimate places. If you don't know any legitimate places, New York Times,
What's that?
I
one?
think-
Huffington?
what-
Huffington Post.
Okay.
Huffington Post, all the big ones that have been around forever.
Like seriously, go to Wikipedia. That's still viable, whether your teachers say or not.
Okay, first off,
Okay, hold on.
Wikipedia is viable. They actually cut out all the things. You have to have a legitimate source in order to edit it now. So,
Hey, joke of the day. I don't know if you guys do this.
Go ahead, joke of the day.
What do you get when you give a Eevee Pokemon, a French stone?
Does it surrender automatically?
No, Napoleon.
Ah,
Viva la Rabibi!
that's terrible.
that's
Okay, I got
terrible.
another one. I got another one.
Okay, hold on,
I've been
second joke.
doing this one all week. I love it. It is very fun. If you're religious, please don't hate me for this, but you might
No,
like
we
it.
are this. We want to piss off as many
Okay,
because the
cool.
more people we piss off, the more people that tune in to watch us.
What is Jesus' favorite salad dressing?
I don't know.
Red wine vinaigrette. Yes.
That
Yes.
is the best joke
Yes!
ever.
Ah,
So we piss people off on your podcast? Amazing.
why not?
I feel like we need to talk about Westboro.
No.
Okay, let's bring this up.
Hold up.
This
hold
is
up.
happening.
Okay, if we're gonna do this,
Okay, here.
I'll
did
be right back.
Did you guys
Bathroom.
hear about the father of the Marine just recently got his son's, or he didn't do it, but his son's funeral was picketed. And now, he sued Westboro Baptist Church.
yes, this happened. I think a year or two ago.
But this is what's happening.
There's
They
an update.
countersued him, and the court is ruling it that he, as the Marine's father, has to pay Westboro money for their protest fees. And the court's letting this go through.
Really?
The
I lost
okay,
track of this, and I did
so-
not know that.
This is
So
true.
what had happened was his son had got killed in the line of duty. This was back in like 2006, I want to say, somewhere around that time. It's been going on for quite some time, actually. And
I'm surprised anybody shows up to court, since they have so many funerals to picket.
yeah, right. Well, apparently they picketed his son's funeral and turned around and got sued by this gentleman. And at first, the Westboro Baptist Church actually got summoned to pay about, it was like $10 million. It was
Yeah.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
And now apparently the courts are ruling that this gentleman now has to pay their protest fees that were charged to them, and that's ranging a little over 13
Well,
grand.
see, the problem with this is that, granted, they are protected by the freedom of speech right. They aren't, they're at least across the street or far enough away where they can't get in trouble.
They just need to stop
Well,
being little fucking cunts.
Here's the thing.
Well,
if
you
actually-
would think that since the head man died, they would kind of disperse, but no,
but
they seem to be
his-
still going
his
strong.
daughter is a. Don't even get me started on it. I read a whole thing
Let's
with all the shit
explain.
that they do. After he died, they decided. At first, they actually said, "We're going to hold a funeral for him," and they were asking for people not to picket it. His
I saw that,
That
I
was
laughed my
funny.
ass off. I was like, hold on a second. Do
They-
I have enough time off and enough money to get a plane ticket?
They turned around and didn't hold a funeral for him because they said that it would be going against their own views. They said that they don't believe in worship of the dead, and that's what funerals are. And so they just ended up having this guy cremated, and that was just it. That was done. After that-
I'm sorry, but they claim to be like a Christian Catholic
No,
thing,
they
right?
think they're
No,
Baptist.
they're
They're Westboro Baptist Church, but they're not even recognized by the
By any of
Baptist
the- yeah.
church as a church. So what does that lead them to? That makes
It's
them
a bunch
an
of people-
extremist group who can get a tax write-off for saying that they're a church. How can you be a church when you're Baptist,
become
when
a
you're a
church.
Baptist church, but you're not even recognized by the Baptist community as a church?
Well, that's kind of like how there's different kind of Baptist churches and all that.
No,
Isn't there?
no.
Isn't there?
No. Okay.
Okay,
so
I'm
this
behind
is
on my
the
religion. I'm
most
sorry.
Religious sex work, actually, because we did a lot of work for the Nazarene back when I was working with ours over at Bonfort. No, they actually have a regional department for every single state, and usually they have to. You get shown. You can say we're a Baptist. Run church on the moral beliefs of the Baptists, because that's how that all works. Because that's you're either Protestant or you're Catholic. The Protestants all split up because they all have their different views, like Methodists are all about the methods to get into heaven. Baptists believe you have to be baptized in order to get into heaven. But things like that, you can have a church that's based on those beliefs. But if you're not part of that national group for that, under that church, then you're not considered to be part of it.
So because the Baptists, the main group for the
main
Baptists, say, no, we don't recognize them as a church, they're not even a Baptist church. They're the Westboro
The Westboro cult.
Westboro
Extremist Group.
Pretty much this is what you get when you mix politics with religion. You get the Westboro Baptist Church.
You get a bunch of idiots who think they know what they're talking about, but in all actuality, like, honestly, I feel
I'm sorry.
they sit here and they shun everybody else except them. You're gonna be the first ones in
Now,
fucking hell, honestly.
here's
Okay,
some-
let me show you what they're doing. Okay, go ahead, talk.
Okay.
No.
Can I?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
100%?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I knew he was gonna do that.
Okay, continue.
Pretty much
No. That's what they're doing. That's pretty much they do.
What's going on is, yes, this is what you get when you mix religion with politics, but you also put it to an extremist point of view where Katrina, that happened years ago. Katrina happened because of the gays. Because gays were allowed to exist on this earth, God is punishing everybody in Louisiana because George Bush didn't kill the gays.
Now-
I'm just saying, that's how extreme
No, I'm sorry.
they would
Gays
say.
have existed for a long time. The Romans were doing well with all their gays.
I know.
And you're telling me that gays lead to the ruination of a country? I'm sorry. Have you looked at France lately? They seem to be doing pretty damn well.
There's the country that's
They
been conquered
literally
twice.
blame
Built a wall.
Still
Okay, first off,
around.
they did not build the wall around them. They built it
No.
in front of them, and everyone was
In
like,
front
let's
of
walk
Germans.
around.
the Germans that are just
They're-
like,
wait,
we'll go through Brussels by
we
the time they
didn't
realize
say-
we're coming, we'll be across
We
the
didn't
border.
say they were the smartest. We just said that they are that way.
But when you actually look at it, when you get a group that blames every single disaster in humankind on a group of people like the gays, which we all know that's what they blame everything on, you get them.
Bush winning.
It's always, what's their first defense? Oh, if the gays didn't,
God hates
if the
fags.
yeah. So apparently, if us gays were just eradicated completely, God would stop doing these natural disasters.
Although it makes me laugh though, because a lot of the time it's like anything that society tends to start or show an interest in, these people are like, no, God hates them.
Something that I read something recently that kind of made me laugh. It was this status that said, maybe the reasons America is having all this trouble after all this time is because we built this country over Indian burial grounds.
I saw that.
And
yes.
maybe it's not because of the gays. Maybe it's because, we kind of fucked over a certain type of race and we made our buildings onto an Indian burial ground. And, eventually you gotta pay the devil.
So back to this whole Westboro.
Wait, now hold up,
thing.
hold up. Who are you following that you see these retarded things?
You can't admit that it doesn't have a point.
To be honest, I think I follow him. But I saw that.
I
did.
really want to know.
I think I might have it saved on my phone. I'm not entirely sure. I'll try to look it up. I'll post the link in the description.
There is just so much stupidity in one post.
But, if you actually look at it, you're just like, huh. we did-
Maybe this does have a point here.
Just saying. Like,
Well, if that's the case, then why is it happening here instead of let's say France or Spain or England? You know, the people of Burley. Yeah.
Well, maybe because they're building their cities on top of their own dead.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's why they don't
Okay,
have
so-
problems.
Let me explain it. Let me get this straight. Okay, so we get
We had
the Baptist Church, the
Yeah.
Westboro Baptist
They're not a
Church,
church.
whatever,
just
extremist
Westboro
group,
Extremist Group.
okay, whatever, and Brazil gets big booty bitches.
yes,
How is that fair?
white people problems.
Okay, am I white? Am I white? Nope. Am I white?
Where is this quote
Hey.
unquote church based at? Isn't it Kansas?
Is it Topeka?
I think
Kansas?
it's Topeka, Kansas, if I'm not mistaken.
There's no place like home.
It was like the gay couple who moved right across the street from their church.
Well, actually, no.
and
On,
painted their house rainbow.
on Facebook right
I
now.
find that funny.
Yes, I actually did.
I find
No,
that-
it wasn't a gay couple.
Oh no.
No, it was just a regular man who was like, "Oh, they live over there. Well, let me go to Home Depot, pick up some paint."
Just rainbow colors.
But on Facebook right now, there is a Facebook page run by God. And I'm saying this, it's run by God. The guy calls him God. He answers all questions like God.
There's one thing. There's something like that on Twitter as well.
Yeah,
like
it's the
tweets by
same guy.
God.
It's the
That's
same
so
guy.
epic.
You know what he did? He started a fundraiser. He made the fundraiser, bought several billboards all across town, all across the area, and had it written on there with the God, like the icon's face, God's face, smiling, giving thumbs up, and it says on the billboard, "God loves gays."
Yeah.
It's blue. It's got a blue background. It's got clouds, some butterflies and rainbows, white lettering,
Well,
and
here's
his face.
Okay, hold up before
I
you
thought
get
God was about forgiveness. Shouldn't we
Well,
love
here's the
gays?
thing.
Because
If
I
you
don't
actually
like
read
this.
the
Love
Bible,
everybody.
not
Yeah.
once does he say, "I hate gays," for the act of, a man laying with another man. He says he hates the action, but not the people. That's the thing.
That's the thing. What the problem that people don't understand is he doesn't hate anyone.
No.
Otherwise, why would
Well,
he have done what
Westboro's
he did?
God does.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's
Well, you could probably go with a
idolatry.
lot of gods right now.
Well, no,
claiming to
but
be
that's
angry.
idolatry. But if you look at the God from the Bible, it's what people don't understand is God doesn't hate the sinner. You hate the sin because He
Yeah.
is the judge. You broke the
I'm
law.
sorry.
And listen,
That's
I don't-
how that happens.
I don't have a fear of meeting God, but I would fear meeting Westboro God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Listen.
No.
Let
I've
me
been cut
do
out.
this
No,
real
I've
quick.
been cut out 3 times.
Okay.
already.
Well, you've cut us out like 6 times.
I
so-
do. No. Okay,
You're
but
wrong.
right here. But all right. So
God
if
hates
you
you 'cause
really
you like
want
me.
to, if you really want to question like anything about God, I'm like free plug for this guy. But this guy's hilarious in what he does. Go watch Dark Matters 2525 videos about like all the texts from the Bible, and he'll like make a full.
Wait, isn't it the same guy who makes the 2D animations?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if we were talking about the same guy, but
You showed me a person like several months ago.
yeah, it's probably
with
him.
the angel and God.
Yep,
It has-
that's him.
Okay.
And
Alright.
he just makes a fool out of everyone that believes like there's only one right way to do anything. There's not. There's different ways to approach problems. If you don't know how to approach a problem a different way, then I feel sorry for you.
Alright, now we're going to go ahead and close this out. But before we close it, I only have one thing to say about this subject on God and all that. If you don't sin, Jesus died for nothing.
Good point.
That's a good way to
Yeah.
Jesus died for nothing, people.
Are we done?
No.
Oh,
Moving
hey,
on to the
that's
next
just the one
subject.
I got something funny, and I don't know what it's going on, but has anybody seen on Facebook today of people taking pictures of their wrists with a pie drawn on them? Not a piece of pie, but
But
the
the
symbol.
So simple pie? I have not
Is
seen
it Pi
that.
Day?
Yeah,
I don't think it's
think
Pi Day.
No,
It's
Pi
Pi
Day's
Day.
not till
Well,
March.
look. I can show you this right now, but it's on my Facebook somewhere.
Was it 10
I
years?
just passed it.
If it's up, check the date, and if it's the current date, message them, hey, you're a couple months late.
Well, here's the thing. It's been like only today have I seen it, and
I don't know. On Facebook lately, I've been getting a lot of posts that like date back to like August
Yeah.
of last year. I don't know what's up with Facebook.
Have you ever looked at Facebook posts or remember seeing
Here we
them
go.
on MySpace
Here we go.
and
This
stuff
was
like
posted
that?
Yeah.
9 hours
Like 6
ago.
years ago?
The reason is because if someone comments on it, it gets boosted up.
Oh.
Here we go.
Nope,
Yeah,
nope,
it's
nope,
9 hours ago, and here's a picture of wrist and pie.
What's the description say?
Don't forget to draw a pie sign on your wrist, post a pic for all your friends to see. That even though we're irrational at times, we will always be nerds, and our friendship will be infinite.
Okay, so there's your
Okay.
answer.
Who started this though? And
I-
why am
it's
out
kinda
of the
like-
loop 9 hours later.
I don't know. I was like, okay, that sounds good, but that's kind of something you would do on Pi Day in March.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I would be cool with
My
pie.
funny thing is your
That
Facebook-
person kind of jumped the gun onto that one. I'll give him
the
that.
funny thing about that is your Facebook thinks you're a nerd.
Well, my Facebook, I am. See, here's the first one. 8 hours ago.
Posted by.
It's like TiVo.
Yeah, true. You have TiVo. What the hell is that? You mean the beginning?
No, it's like TiVo. People think you're gay. No!
Don't say that. Don't say TiVo thinks you're gay because
TiVo will think
you're
you gay. Oh yeah.
Westboro will attack TiVo and we won't have TiVo. Because
TiVo
TiVo
have
thinks you're gay.
Does TiVo
Chef.
have opinions?
Chef. You're
TiVo
gay.
judges you?
TiVo made you gay.
Depending on
and
what
now
you
Westboro
watch,
thinks-
it will judge. It will start recording what
TiVo's
shows based
God,
on
yeah.
what you
But
watch.
that's what Facebook does.
If TiVo
Oh,
can judge me.
so you guys know.
Well, hold on a second. Here's the problem with TiVo is that yes, it will record shows that based on what you have watched, but the problem with TiVo is it records the wrong type of shows.
Yeah, you say that you like
I have one-
sports.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you've got cricket, you've got
No,
now
no,
lacrosse,
I have one friend-
and then since you got lacrosse,
I have one
and since
friend.
that's
His
kind of
parents
an
use
acrobatic
TiVo.
thing,
They would.
now you got gymnasiums, and then
My buddy's parents, they had TiVo, and they would record like the Real Housewives and stuff. Like that's what they record. Then he got his own TiVo, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna record, just some basic cartoons. Next thing you know, he's going through his list of seeing what the hell TiVo recorded for him, and it's like Law and Order, SVU.
Oh, those
He's
are
watching
my,
CSI
those are my
Miami.
favorite cartoons.
But he's looking. He's like, no, that's not what I wanted to watch. Why the hell is this here? Because the problem with TiVo's programming was it'll select certain things that are on at certain times, forcing you to watch them, making it so that program got more views for that.
That's what Dish does.
yeah.
Oh, with their genie thing.
They only allow-
DirecTV doesn't do that.
Well,
Don't get me
that's
started on DirecTV. Go off on DirecTV.
No, I could go off of
They lost
CenturyLink.
so many channels
It's okay.
within the last
You
6
can-
years.
They
you
did.
could all hail the craptastic. But actually, the funniest thing is Crowdcasting has the best internet ever. But if you ever get one of their modems, you might as well go outside, take a sledgehammer to them, give it back to them, and be like, "Here, this is what needs to happen to
If you have
this."
Comcast, all your stuff goes out. Your phone, your TV.
Per-
and
yeah.
If it
happens
gets
on the
really
east side all
windy,
the time.
if it gets really windy, that's
all because
when
of
that
the drunk
happens.
drivers hitting in them boxes.
Dude, it happens at the assisted living I was working at.
So,
It was dirty.
I was just going through my Facebook, and this is a group
But
that I
never
follow.
had
I mean, it's kind of
problems
funny if you want to just like have random memes, like random original memes. Go follow the Gay
Do you have
Geeks
Comcast?
on Facebook. They're actually.
I think I have.
They're funny. They are the most hilarious group I've ever seen for when it comes to just original memes. Not even things that you see get shared like a million times, but they come up with the most original ones that I've seen in a long time. Not all of them are gay based, just saying.
Yeah.
But they are.
Why does everything have to be gay?
All right.
Because their name is Gay Geeks and people stray away from that. That's human society. We are still punished by the Westboro's gods, remember?
Oh yeah! Oh my God!
All right.
Here, people.
Moving on. Moving on.
That will never move on.
Capcom is suing somebody for patent infringement.
Who's he
What?
suing?
He's
Yes.
suing his
Cap-
creator of Mega Man, obviously
No,
again.
Capcom is
That's
suing
too.
Koei Tecmo, and here's the reason.
Okay, I know.
For what?
We heard that SNK filed a criminal lawsuit against Square Enix. Okay, moving on. Now it looks like Capcom is suing Koei Tecmo for patent infringement, according to a report by Sankey.
Speak up, Doug.
Mentions that Capcom is suing them due to infringements in games such as Samurai Warriors, Extreme Legends, and 49 other titles for a total of 98 million yen, around $9.43 million.
Jesus.
Now, according to the lawsuit, they filed this back in 2002. That involves a function that lets you acquire new content by combining a system game with another piece of software. It appears that are referred to.
A cupcake.
Capcom is suing them because they believe they have a handhold grip on the idea of expansion packs and importing content into a new version of a game. Capcom right now is claiming that they own the idea of DLC.
If you ask me,
Yes.
If you ask me, until Capcom comes out with another Mega Man game, they can eat a dick. Just saying.
Why does everything have to be Mega Man? I know he's like an amazing game.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I want Mega Man.
I'm sorry, but what was it? Was it the Mega Man collection?
I
Or
want a
3 something?
legitimate.
They announced it. They were like, "Oh, we have this. This is gonna come out." People were like,
It was
"Yes,
the
we love
X
it."
collection.
And then they decided, "Oh, by the way, flushing of the toilet."
Just saying, if I have to play Mighty Number 9 to get the feel of Mega Man again, I will do so until they come out with an actual title and not these goddamn
Mega Man-
spin-off characters.
You wouldn't have that problem if you just had a 3DS.
Shut up.
All right.
Hey, we can at least say this. At least he's back in
Hold on.
Smash
Another
Bros.
thing they're suing for is the patent mentioned in the report is controller vibrating notification features when enemy characters are nearby. Capcom claims that the patent infringement has greatly contributed to the sales of the Koei Tecmo titles.
If you ask me, like, that's the same thing as Nicki Minaj using Anaconda. It should just use it. Like, that's not a feature that you should have.
That was a bad use of Anaconda, by the way.
Just whatever. Just saying.
I kind of like the video, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the video's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm like, I could turn that on mute and be done.
All I'm saying is just, it's the
about
same
2 minutes long.
concept.
Yeah.
Actually,
3.
if you want to talk about something that's the same sort of idea like that, it's like the guy, the lead singer from CCR. He came out with a song that sounded close to one of his other songs that he did for CCR, and the record company tried to sue him for copyright infringement of himself.
Vanilla Ice.
Oh.
Enough said.
Well, yes, it is said that Koei Tecmo has seen a profit of 9.7 billion yens in total sales, and Capcom are looking to acquire around 5 to 10% in license fees.
I don't think it'll go through.
They are also demanding the suspension of sales on several of their titles.
So what did they do? What did they copy?
Basically, Capcom is saying that
We own
we
DLC.
own the form of DLC.
I think
They own the idea of it. They claim that they first created DLC.
I think what they're talking about more specifically is this whole idea that you can download data and transfer it from one game to a different game and whatnot, and have unlockables from that. I don't think that they're talking about DLC exclusively. I think they're talking about kind of add-ons where like, oh, you played Ultimate Ninja 1, here's a bunch of yen for number 2. You know, that sort of thing is what I
Like
think they're more
transfer, like
talking
data
about.
transfer.
I think that's what they're, because they said data transfer was one of the things on
No, it's not. It's a like new data transfer for an old game. Like say,
Yeah.
so like you create new characters
Yeah.
and you release it as DLC for an old game. Like Capcom does for Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom.
Or
they?
like sacrifice the soul sacrifice.
Like you buy the game and then like a couple months later they announce, oh, by the way, on this day we're gonna release like 3 new characters for like $20.
They also did. They released every
Or-
character for the whole game, including the DLC ones. And Ultimate, which is really douchey. Really douchey.
No,
Well, wait, there
that
was
was-
still
that
3
was-
characters that are
no,
still
That was a
dislocked.
different reason. The reason why they made Ultimate was because of the, what was it, the tsunami in Japan?
Yeah.
That caused a lot of shit to shut down. It made production just slower, so they're just like, okay, for player base, we're gonna give you all the characters that were supposed to come out as DLC.
Basically
That's why
what
they
they
made
did is
Ultimate.
they,
Just
well,
saying.
that, and they also made it kind of like, oh, this is the Game of the Year version.
Pretty much.
Like 2 months
but
later,
actually-
that can't.
but
work
then
out.
actually- there
Another
were
thing
3
that Capcom does that with, another game, is Monster Hunter. They after a while they're like, here are some more arena challenges. We've been sitting here, we've been working on these, and we come up with this idea that would infuriate you, like a giant Plesioth and a little baby Plesioth, and you have to fight them both at the same time. Go. Both have the same hitboxes as they would normally, by the way.
Gross. Gross. We don't joke about that.
You're no.
Oh,
you
God.
weren't there. You were there with us. With the,
It was
little
the
baby
it was
Urgan
the it was the baby Urgan and it was
that
like
had
something
the
else.
face and the Volvodon, but it had the same blast radius for the ground pound, where he bounces his chin on the ground as he does normal. So like if you're anywhere within, let's say like 2 feet, 3 feet within him, because literally it's ground zero all the way around him, like 4 or 5 squares.
Well, yeah, but
and it's just like you're done.
I don't know. I don't think it'll go through, and if it does, then that just makes
suing somebody for the idea of DLC. I'm about to say, I don't see them going after Sony or Microsoft for this.
Might as well just go after every game developer.
Yeah, pretty much, because every game now has DLC.
I mean, that's the new unlockables of the future, right?
True.
Your ideals are false, and you should feel bad for having false ideals.
Then Avatar closed, man. Microsoft was on something with those.
What?
Sarcasm.
Avatar? Like the movie Avatar?
No, okay, so...
Wait, which movie Avatar?
No. And in order to combat the whole thing with the memes, Microsoft came up with the Avatar.
Gotcha.
And then to make it even more of a gimmick, they did unlockables that you could get if you beat certain challenges.
Yes. Like if you got
If you bought ODST and you beat the game on Legendary, you got a full ODST armor.
Hey, I still have the beta t-shirt.
or if you completely beat Final Fantasy 13, you got all the backdrop artwork for your home screen.
If you beat Halo 3 or Halo Reach on Legendary, you got pretty much all the armors.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Just saying, like, whatever. Yeah, Nintendo should go after Microsoft if that's the case. It's just there's so many legal gray areas with video games. I don't think you can own.
The only time Nintendo goes after anyone is when they see potential problems. Back in the early days of Blockbuster, they went after Nintendo went after them because they were trying to photocopy all the instruction booklets and stuff like that. And Nintendo said, no, that's copyright infringement on our part. That's not for the free use. Well, the Free Use Act wasn't even there yet, I don't think. But the whole point is that they wanted to stop them because if they're allowed to copy the player guide, the manual, the instruction manual, what makes you think that they have to stop there? They could soon, someday, maybe copy the actual game onto a different cartridge and rent it out.
Was this the cartridge before discs and whatnot?
Yep, and that was their whole fear. This was back in the early 90s. That was them trying to put a stop to that whole idea.
So what happened altogether?
They won. That's why Blockbuster only had instruction booklets in 1 or 2 of the games.
Gotcha.
But
if you look at it that way.
But it made sense at the time because they were trying to set the boundary line.
Well, if you distribute in that defense, if you would distribute the copy
Of the
instruction,
copy, yeah.
if you just distribute those, like you're not renting the
Well,
copy,
what
you're
they were-
renting the game.
Yeah.
But, who's to say
Everything
this little
that goes
boy?
in the game. And
Yeah, who's to say this little boy doesn't want that copy himself? It's one of those things. Maybe they're just trying to keep their merchandise.
Well, that's what they were trying to do.
Isn't that the same thing that like EA Sports did, or not EA Sports, whatever Assassin's Creed was with the online codes and stuff?
Oh, when USB started doing the online passes or the season passes.
Isn't that what they were doing? They wanted.
That's pretty. Yeah, they pretty much wanted to try and kill the used game market. Whereas if you bought a used game by Ubisoft, you would have to enter. You have to have a season pass to unlock almost everything there was on the disc. Now, if you didn't have one and you bought it for a used game, you could buy one for like $5. Okay, sure. Buy one for $5. Doesn't sound bad, it's $5, sure. But you got to remember, they're locking you out of a game that was already paid for full price, and you paid a discounted price, but you still paid that full amount, even though that money probably didn't go to the.
Well, if you take it that way, then look at Xbox and Xbox One. How Microsoft was trying to do away with the used game market themselves. Oh no!
Everything needs to be digital.
Everything will have to be digital.
Everything
Look
digital.
how quickly that blew up, and how quickly they had to redo their idea because no one from that point on. Was
I don't know
gonna
what
buy
the
an
hell was
Xbox
behind
One.
Microsoft's team. I don't know if they were smoking some amazing shit.
I think they were just trying to destroy the used game market.
Yeah, because they came up there like your Xbox One, the Kinect is always on.
Yeah.
Even if it's turned off, it's still on.
It's waiting for you to say Xbox on.
There is DRM lock. It's a DRM locked disc, so that means you can't. It's harder to pirate. But trust me, DRM. Most people like me, probably Wabi-Kun here, maybe Master Chef, probably you two as well, could probably just rip the game straight off, put it onto another disc, and have nothing to worry about.
It's not hard, people.
It's not hard, people. Come
I'm not
on.
gonna tell you how to, because then we'll
They
get
call
sued.
him James Master Chef.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sweet Sanji.
Yep.
Yep.
I can live with that. I the bar. I have someone at work that calls me that.
And then you
I'm
have.
starting to turn face to.
And then what was it? Okay, so we got. And then once every 24 hours, your Xbox One has to connect to the internet.
Or you
Otherwise,
can't play it.
or you can't play any of your games.
It's
And then
Absolutely.
PlayStation, and then like you could trade your online games, but it's only to one person on your friends list, and then that game can't be traded again. And then you have PlayStation who came out like in the next
Hey.
4 hours. It's
Hey
like,
guys, you can do everything that you're supposed to be doing.
here's how we trade games. Here you go. Thank you. That's how we trade games.
That was the best. But you know what? Microsoft kind of fixed that when they released Terraria onto their Xboxes. Because you know what they did? They said, hey, let's release Terraria for you guys. Guess what? You can invite anyone on your friends list, only one though, to your world in your game. They don't need to have the game, but you just need to have it. But you guys can play on the same world.
It's stupid if you ask me. Did they do away with all that shit?
They did.
I don't know. I don't own
They
one.
did, and they lowered the price from what was it, almost $700 they were asking for.
Yeah, those are like features that nobody ever wanted to use. Ever.
I like using Xbox on to freak out my friend. Just to sit in the bathroom. Xbox on the bench.
I just remember them, Ryan walking into the Rooster Teeth office when they're right in the middle of a Let's Play and going, Xbox off, and they're all shouting, no, 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 and then they're just like, wait, we can just go over to say no. He's like, yes, yes, yes.
It's, I don't know. Those features are kind of.
They're kind of janky.
I don't know why they
I
decided to make
remember-
the Kinect. I think to kind of rival the Nintendo
No,
Wii.
it's the move.
The Move.
It's the PS
Yeah.
Move. Which was for the PS2 to begin with. No, and then the
If it-
PS...
Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
Well, and that was
Hey,
the
you know
funny
what?
thing
The
about
Wii did
the
pretty
PS.
well.
It was the iCam, wasn't it?
Well,
Or,
yeah, the iCam.
yeah,
And
they
so
still
and the whole
revolutionized it.
problem was the PS Move was supposed to be the ripoff of the Nintendo Wii, and they couldn't do it right. That was why it tanked for them, because they didn't realize what they were trying to do is they were trying to cash in. But the whole point was they were trying to cash in on something that Nintendo spent years on working on it.
Well, if we
Nintendo has a track record of they don't release stuff very often until they have thoroughly tested it because they've learned from their mistakes
Guess
throughout
what?
the years.
This is also another
Duck
thing.
Hunt. Just saying, Duck Hunt.
Let's
the
just
very
say this
first
Fuck that dog.
Nintendo doesn't release their shit with everyone else. People are thinking, oh, Nintendo's releasing their next gen console. Not really. Nintendo's releasing their console they want to release for that series. Like, they don't care if it's
I'm
their
pretty
next
sure
gen
the
console.
Wii U was out way before.
Before
It was.
Yeah,
Well,
The
it
concept
was.
of the
At
Wii
least-
U was.
But
was
the whole point was everyone was upset with it because it didn't go forward. It didn't go forward. But at the same time, what they did is they took the idea of the Wii and they moved it forward.
well, if you ask me, the Wii U to me looks like they took the idea of the DS and brought it to a console.
I want to
Actually,
say
but
Game
some
Boy
people
Advance
actually
is more
wanted-
along the
And
lines
some
of
people
what it looks
actually
like.
wanted that, so they
Oh,
kind of
I love it.
naturally agree.
I
Like,
love
what they
it.
wanted.
I was playing Chef's Wii U. I mean, it is really cool to play Mario Kart on a pad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, you
Madden.
don't need a TV.
Madden, you actually have two different score books.
Yep.
Playbooks. For the new Hyrule Warriors, it's not going to be a split screen. It's one
One here,
person's on the
one
main
there.
TV, one person's on the console.
So if you ask me, it's actually really cool. Like Nintendo did a good job. Now all they have to do
Well,
is just
well,
like
it's
they
not a new
announced-
console. Would you consider it a new add-on?
No.
A way to advance?
No.
It's a brand new console.
It's a brand new console.
You would not be able to do that with the Wii whatsoever.
You could not get the processing power, you cannot get this other stuff. That was their one faux pas, is the marketing of it, because they marketed it as a Wii. Pretty
As a
much.
game
It's-
console,
well,
just a
because
game console.
The whole problem was they're used to Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance,
They took off with the hand.
DS, and the DS, the DSi, the DS XL, the 3DS, the 3DS. But what people don't understand is, oh, we got a Wii. Oh, we got the Wii U. It looks like the Wii, but it's not the Wii. And that
They
was the
used
hard
name-
concept to
They
it
used the
for
name
these
of
people.
the Wii. Like, honestly, if they would have called it by any other name,
It would have done better.
Shakespeare's old quote, from Romeo and Juliet.
And
A,
names.
a rose called by any other name smells just as sweet. If you called that Wii U by anything else, it would still do what it's meant to do.
The other problem is we're used to that. We don't understand because we're all gamers. The market that they're trying to sell this to is parents, old retirement homes, stuff like that, hospitals.
To be honest, the Wii
It
could
doesn't
take
work.
the Wii could, or excuse me,
Rehab.
the Wii U can take off as a hardcore gaming system if they get the games that are needed for it.
If they get the third-party
Well,
titles.
No.
to buy a
And you know
Wii U
why
for
they
the
won't
game
look at the
Smash
third-
Brothers,
Smash Brothers is going to make it take off.
that's
Yes.
about it.
Hy-
It's they sold like twice what they made in the previous year already.
Hylian Warriors
Quadrupled themselves with
Hylian Warriors are going to take it off. If
Yep.
we can get the old games back from N64,
They
Instead of
already have.
making
No, not-
family-friendly games that
Yeah.
everybody can play,
kill
make
the
games for them.
games, give us hardcore consoles.
You know
and
what?
that thing could be
I actually
awesome.
saw a post about this. I don't know if you guys saw this too, but it says like there's the other console fanboys that are like for their consoles. They're like, oh look at all these new titles that they're making. And it's like showing all the like Call
You
of
saw
Duty.
mine. You
It's
saw
like
that. I shared
whatever
that.
infringement like they were on for since this, and then they see
15.
Nintendo, and they're like.
It's like
Nintendo needs to stop remaking all their fucking games. It's getting old, and then you just see it's like
Oh, God.
all this other stuff. But it's like that's what we want from Nintendo. We want
We
their old
want-
games because
we
that's
want
what
their
hooked us on
classics.
Nintendo.
no,
That's
it's
what
like
hooked us on games,
we-
period.
well,
exactly.
no, it's
Nintendo
like-
started it.
it was
What
like-
was it for you? NES?
Actually, it was the Atari 5200.
Okay, what,
We'll talk about those times.
We do talk about those times.
It was the NES.
what was it for
NES.
you? Mine was Super Nintendo. I was too young, like to be honest. So Super Nintendo, Game Boy. What was it for you? Say Sega.
I
Just say it.
Just say
It honestly was the
And
Sega.
Sega. Don't even get me started on Sega. Sega sold out at the wrong time. When the Dreamcast came out, that was Xbox processing power before Xbox. If
Not
Sega
only that,
would've
it was the
continued to-
first gaming console to have
Honestly,
online.
Sega was
It
the
would've
Sega came
continued.
out in 1990.
Yeah.
The
That was
Sega Dreamcast?
No, 89.
No.
89 was when Sega came out.
The Dreamcast, yeah.
came out in. No, Dreamcast came out in.
No, 2000. It came out right
was like-
about
Right
before-
when the crash was
right-
about to happen, I
No,
think.
right before the GameCube came out, right before Xbox came out, right
Seriously, if
before.
Sega-
Because Dreamcast, I
Sega, you
believe, came
suck
out like
for
99.
selling out.
Well,
It's
actually,
just
no.
a game
It
console.
went.
Because
Nintendo
the
came out with the
PS1
64, and then we had the Dreamcast, which started to use the CDs.
I'm sorry, Dreamcast.
No,
was
we
pretty
had
good still, I'm
PS1.
not even gonna lie.
And PS1
But
was going
PS1's
along.
processing
Then
power.
Sonic Adventure 2, that's a
PS1's
Yeah.
processing power
They
when
don't
it
make
first
They remade
came
it
out
for the Nintendo
was
after they
that
sold out.
of
It was so
the
good.
of the
See, that
Super
was the whole
Nintendo.
point, is that
Because
they differentiated
PlayStation
the
came
two.
out, years when PlayStation was supposed to be an add-on for the Super Nintendo.
Yes,
That's what I'm
if
trying
you-
to get to.
If you
Whoa,
heard the
no,
story,
no. Here's the whole story. This is what happened. See, Nintendo came up with this idea right after the Super NES, and Sony was actually part of Nintendo.
No.
People don't understand this. They were
no,
actually
actually,
part
they
of it.
weren't part of the. They weren't part of the same company. They were actually partners, but they weren't part. They
They
weren't
were
like.
working together on the CDI
Yep.
Yep.
And the
And-
CDI tanked.
because it was horrible. Because they went away from their formula of actually taking
Here's what
time working on games.
Here's what happened, because I like to do research on video game history. Nintendo went to Sony because they were like, we want to start making CD games because there's more memory, there's a lot more stuff we could do, we have more room
It
to play.
saved the money. That's the only reason, really.
That's
It all dovetails
And it
to the green.
Now, Sony at the time was like, okay, well, one of the main head guys was like, because like Sony at first didn't want to do it.
No.
But then one of the guys came out and was like, I'll sponsor you guys. We'll do this. Well, at the time they started making it, which became which later on
CDI.
became the CDI.
Yeah.
If Sony found out that, at first when he told the other people at Sony, they were like, oh, this is gonna fail. Why'd you do this? This is gonna put us in the hole. And then they found out that Nintendo was also talking to Panasonic. because they were gonna try and get to see who could come up with a better product. The second Sony heard about Panasonic entering into the match,
Like, no.
they were like, "No, we're gonna take what we have
Now they
and we're gonna go on our
they
own."
took all that research. and
Which
made
was
a
pretty
PlayStation.
much, it was done. It was pretty
It
much
was pretty
done.
much ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we look at the first titles for the PlayStation,
They even went to, I'm not sure if it was an E3, I don't know when E3 started, but they went to a gaming convention and they showed off the power and everything. It wasn't a whole lot, but it showed off what the future could be.
This is PlayStation.
And then the CDI failed, but they were like, okay, let's take what we have and improve it, and that's where you get the PlayStation.
Yep.
Like Metal Gear Solid was one of their first titles. for sure.
Exactly.
If we
Now, what
actually
happened with
look
the Panasonic was they tried to make it work, money fell out or something like that, and it didn't work.
Dude, PlayStation games used
Crash
to be
Bandicoot.
legit. What about like
Actually-
metal and stuff? Stuff
actually-
that's
Oh,
actually
God.
dark. And,
If
like,
you actually take the first PlayStation
like those things
titles,
weren't
the first
regulated by
PlayStation
people.
titles were not in 3D. They were still that
Nope,
of
they
the
were
Super
2D.
Nintendo capacity.
The whole-
There was a 16-bit error when PlayStation first came
The
out.
whole first thing that went to 3D was actually the 64.
Well, actually,
that was the
after
whole point. That was the whole revolution of the 64.
after the crash that happened between Atari, Sega, and Nintendo, where Nintendo came out the winner of that one, it was just Nintendo because they had like 4 or 5 years with the N64 and the Super Nintendo where they just ruled video games. And then after
Yes.
like 6 years, I think that's when Sony came out and said, "Hey, remember us?
Look at this.
Behold the
Crash
future.
Bandicoot.
We
It
have
wasn't even Sony. That was Mad Dogs all the way. Here's Crash Bandicoot. We're gonna
Yeah.
put you on a processing speed that was better of the N64 at the time. That was before that little red thing. That was
Uh-huh.
the
The
memory,
expansion
the
card.
RAM.
Yeah.
No, it was an expansion. Yeah, and it had to have it, and it was specifically made for Donkey Kong
For
Country.
Donkey Kong Country because
Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah.
But that was the new country.
Donkey Kong was so large that it could not process without that
There was
extra
a
RAM
glitch.
power.
That was the problem. There was a glitch unless you had that pack.
Yeah, to be honest, like none of our games really needed it. Besides that, and wasn't
Majora's Mask.
Yeah,
Majora's
Majora's Mask
Majora's
was the other
Mask
one.
had that time traveling
Mhm.
mechanic that could not
A
function.
lot of
without
them
the
actually
added
had
memory.
better processing times and whatnot if they had it, like Rogue Squadron did.
Playing
something.
Super Mario 64 with that RAM expansion made the N64 take off. But the point was look at the expansion that Nintendo had to make, but look at the capacity power that the Sony PlayStation had at the beginning. That's why everything initially just went to a
Not only that,
disc.
but
at the
they
same
also
time-
had good games on there, so that me and Wabi-Kun here, we still have our Nintendo 64, we still got our GameCube, we still have games for all
He
those.
doesn't know where they are.
But that was
I
the
know
whole
where
thing.
they are.
That's the reason why they went back to cartridges, because they knew that they were safe. They didn't have to worry about, oh, the disc got scratched. Oh, it would literally,
here's also-
discs fall apart after a while because they get so
The wear and
well
tear and the
used.
pulling
Yeah.
of them out.
If you use them too much, your Call of Duty and Halo 3 are going to break.
Like,
A reach.
for me, I actually played when Brawl came out. I had Brawl in my Wii for 9 months straight because I did not swap games when I was playing. My Brawl ended up just crashing altogether. My Wii ended up crashing because there was no change with it
Uh-huh.
either. My original Wii went down because I played the same game for 9 months straight.
Don, why don't you tell everyone what I did to our Xbox and every first-person shooter we own? Why don't you tell them these stories?
Okay. Now, was it,
It was Halo 3, Halo Reach, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty
Now, this
Black
was the
Ops,
time where you
Call
were-
of Duty World at War.
now you were playing with an amateur MLG team at this time, weren't you?
Oh yeah, and Battlefield Bad Company 2. So pretty much all the big
There was a time where I was at work, I didn't give no shits about anything, I was being a social recluse, just working. So, I let Wabi-Kun here completely take over my Xbox 360.
It was not your Xbox 360. The white one was mine.
Okay, I let him have
Well,
the
that's
Xbox
the first
360.
thing. It was the arcade edition.
Yeah.
This was actually the first one that came out.
It
This-
was arcade.
Yeah, that's
I got the
how bad mine
60 gigabyte memory on it. I was happy.
I had everything on it too, and then I put in Left 4 Dead 2 in it. Instantly ringed it.
Uh-huh.
Instantly ringed it. the
I
first time
never
played
had a
it.
red ring problem with that.
I never
with
had
that
a red
console.
ring problem.
I only
It
had
just
a red
would
ring
ring
of death
discs.
when the cord got pulled out, just unexpectedly. But It always worked after I got that red ring.
I never got the red rings then.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Anyway, he had like what was it? Almost a year and a half.
2 years.
2 years.
2 straight
360, original 360 to himself, had not red ringed. Of just him playing the games. He'd come home from school, he'd play the game. His homework would already be done. He'd just be sitting there from 4 o'clock in the afternoon all the way until probably like 2 a.m. in the morning. Either.
Sounds like my high school.
That was middle school.
That sounds like my middle
You
school.
gotta remember, he is younger than what we are.
That sounds like my middle
I
school.
forget.
I forget my last year
So
of middle
one
school.
day, okay, hold on. One day I come home from work and I'm like, you know what? I see the 360 there. I have my own personal controller. I'm like, I'm gonna play some Halo just for the hell of it. Turn on the game, put the game in. Halo 3 pops up. Red ring.
I did not red ring my Xbox. He did.
Why'd you do that?
Yeah, why are you so mean?
I wanted to play a game. So I was like, okay, this is weird. I turned it off just to see if it was a fluke. Turn it back on, no red ring. I was like, okay, let's try a different game. Threw in Modern Warfare 2. Comes up, cannot read disc. I open up the trade disc, I look at the bottom, I see rings.
It ate it. It ate it.
Just deep ring scratches all over
ate
it.
it.
Now think
It
about
sure
this.
did.
2 years straight, pretty much on the weekends, I would not sleep. So,
Okay, sounds like my high
48
school.
hours.
So I would go to work, he'd be playing. I come home from work, he'd be playing. I go to bed, I wake up in the morning, he'd still be fucking playing.
So it looks like when Path of Radiance came out at my house.
Did you have the Xbox standing up?
Nope.
Yep.
No.
It was down and it still ate it.
98 hours a week I was playing the Xbox.
Do you understand?
That's
I've
during
been there.
school.
Gross. Gross.
Like, if you just
ridiculous.
accidentally tap it a little, it will eat it
And
too.
you still graduated on time?
Yes, I did.
Hold on.
It took a bit of work, but he did.
He did one thing that I wish I could do. Balance homework and games.
Well, here's the problem. He did it on the way home from school.
No, actually, I was a good student. I would do all my homework in class and I would hand it to the teacher and not talk to her for the next day.
Nice.
I was that kind of student.
But yeah,
But yeah, we eventually had to replace it. And then, of course, the second one red ringed on us.
That one I will take blame on because I left it on for 6 days straight while I slept while playing it.
I just honestly, if we actually look at it, I think our gaming systems are now made and designed to fail at a certain point.
Yep.
They are.
Did
They're-
you know, this is actually a quite interesting fact, all the discs for Modern Warfare 2 after pre-release date were all made in Mexico, and the Mexico discs were meant to break within 6 months.
It's just one of those things where like,
Yep.
we look at my Wii, I played it for 9 months straight, didn't take anything out, and then it just ends up crashing and not being able to read any other disc. We look at the 6 original DS that I had, where the right corner of the screen would just pop off and break.
Yep.
We look at, I like to be honest, the
I've worn out
PSP,
D-pads.
the PSP, my right shoulder button would never work after a certain point.
I wore out my
Thumbstick?
my right button on my D-pad for my Game Boy Advance.
Like,
That is always the thing, because you go left to right. So that's always the first thing to go, is that right direction.
Okay, let me tell everyone this, and all the viewers, of course, too. Don't ever, I look back, don't ever buy an Xbox 360 mic from Xbox, because they suck dick and will break in 2 minutes. I threw it at the wall, and it cracked, and the microphone actually came out,
Why are
and
you
I saw
throwing
one.
it?
Because
Okay,
I
so-
died on a perfect
That
game!
was,
truth be
Phil,
told,
that was
Ben,
your fault, then.
that was user.
That was user abuse. But
No,
if
no,
we're- if
I
we're
bought
gonna
Turtle
go-
Beach the next
time out,
day.
time
No,
out.
you're wrong. You're wrong. You're both wrong.
Westboro! No!
Objection!
Overruled.
Here's the thing. This is where you don't ever buy something from. Do not buy something and put it under warranty from Walmart.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
will not honor their warranty.
Who gets a warranty at Walmart?
I did! My Wii broke!
And you know what it was? It was on a lawnmower. And then I gave it back to him the next day.
Just saying, if you buy their extended warranty, don't expect them to replace it because they won't honor it, even if you keep the receipt.
Ah, Lord. I keep hearing about, all these systems breaking. I still remember the Atari 5200, or I think it's the 7200.
Don't go there. Stop right there. Just stop yourself. That's for another
Pitfall.
video. Because that's going to take forever.
While the games might have sucked, the controller and the game system itself is built like a brick shit house.
Oh, I still have that original Game Boy.
Okay.
It had that little compartment where you... Hold on, wait.
The system, when it came out, was meant to be arcade at home. It had to... It was built like the arcade, like the brick, because you have some little douchebag who's just like, Mommy, I want to play, but I don't have a quarter. I was one of these douchebags.
You're the ones I hated!
So I ended up, just wear and tear, not
You were-
normal play.
Were you
Just-
ever one of the douchebags who... Did you ever chew and, when you couldn't find anywhere to put the chew, you stuck it inside the quarter machine?
No. I never
No.
chew.
Yeah.
No.
I remember going to the arcades and
Okay.
here's my favorite game.
Okay.
And then you go to stick a quarter and it gets stuck because some douchebag decided to put chew in there because he didn't have any other place to
Let
put
me
it.
let me tell you guys this. Alright, so I'm gonna go back to way back when I was like, I don't know, a wee little lad, or I guess like 3.
How old are you?
So 3 years ago.
But anyway,
We're going
so
back 3 years, man.
I was like 5, I guess. And I would go to my sister's softball games, and they had this huge arcade machine in like the sports complex there. I would sit there. I wouldn't give a fuck. I would steal people's quarters when they put the dollar in the change of the quarter. I would snatch that up. I would take it and I would run. And I knew I was allowed to use the carts. I was allowed to use like anything around me because they knew me. I was their favorite child.
Yes.
Because I would help them in the restaurant. I would help them deliver shit to the umpires and the coaches.
So
I would
you
help
were
them.
just that menace, huh?
Yep, and I would steal
Oh,
the coins.
are you talking about the softball complex? Oh god,
and I
they
would
loved
take
us.
the coins and I would run up to the cart and drive away.
That's,
I would have kicked your ass.
what is this, 13 years ago?
The only problem I had with that place was it was built right next to the dumping grounds.
Yeah.
So once noon to 4 o'clock came and you got that hot wind just blowing from the dump,
What arcade game was it, though?
there was...
Or
in
was
the-
it just a complex?
There was a Time Cop.
Time Crisis.
Time
Time
Crisis.
Crisis.
Yeah, there was
There's
Time
also Time
Crisis.
Crisis.
There was the Initial D driving game.
There was that whatever. What's that race across America game?
Cruising USA.
There we
Cruising
go.
USA. There was that. There was another.
There was like a Tekken and a Mortal Kombat.
I mean, seriously.
I couldn't remember. I
I
always
feel old
when I
you
see
say
the
that.
when I see the game, I can name it. But when I can't just be like, what was that game?
No, I feel old because I remember the X-Men arcade game.
No,
Actually,
they had that.
they
had
had
the
that.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade game. They
The
had.
Simpsons, you know what?
Oh my
They
God.
did. They
Here's some
did.
free
Yeah.
advertisement.
there.
Here's some free advertisement. Go to One Up in Denver, and you get to play all of that.
Oh god.
All
We
of
must
it.
go.
Let's do it.
Honestly,
You're not
like-
21 yet
I
because
don't
it's
give
a
a
bar.
fuck.
It's a bar.
Yeah,
arcade.
there's actually 2 different locations within Denver, Colorado. One of them is off
David
of
Buster's?
no, no.
Let me tell you something.
That's not our
I look
arcade.
older
That's a
than
very
him.
expensive state fair place.
Anyways, yeah. So 2 different locations within Denver. One is off of West Colfax, or downtown Colfax, still considered West Colfax. Other one
They're
is
same thing.
downtown, located off of Market Street. All their games are a quarter. It is the only bar in Denver that you can legitimately buy a 40.
Free advertisement. One Up. Like them. Go to them. Play them.
Anyways,
Fun.
so they had all these old
and all their
arcade games.
games
I
are
used to
quarters.
steal that. I used to steal all of it. I used to steal the quarters. There would be a kid. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna put the quarter in," and when he put the quarter in, I would hit the button.
Oh shit!
So it wouldn't register, and I would take the quarter.
Now, while he was doing that, I, on the other hand, I was reading the Initial D manga. So when I saw that we had a video game where you could race, well, I was like, okay, I gotta learn how to get good at this game. So I borrowed money from my parents, like $20 in quarters, and I just played the game. I got my own little special ID card that comes with the game because when you start a new profile,
They don't do that anymore.
Initial D still does it.
No, there's
No.
because I was playing Initial D in the mall. Springs Mall, and they don't give those IDs anymore.
Really?
Yeah, they don't do them
Oh my god, me
anymore.
and Wabi-Kun here, we still have ours from like 2008.
Jesus.
That's been through hell.
And the funny thing is, they still register if you use them.
Oh yeah, they still do. I have unlocked everything. I had gotten the 8.6. I had unlocked everything for it. Unlocked all the tracks. And I would actually hustle people in the arcade. So while he's doing his little quarter trick, I'm like, hey, wanna race? Here's $5 saying you can beat me.
So here we are. We're fucking scam artists pretty much at this point. I have learned from the young age how to scam people out of money.
Technically, it wasn't really scamming. It was more of stealing you.
No, I, on the other hand, could be considered hustling.
I'm pretty sure that was like...
I'd be like, look, I got $5. This is yours if you beat me. You got to get the 75 cents to play this game and make your character. If I win, I get the rest of your quarters and your character.
I would not steal. I would simply take without asking permission.
That's
Thievery.
I was just a little pickpocket,
a
okay?
little okay, pickpocket, not even a road.
Alright, let's move on to...
Wait, I'm not done.
Okay, alright, go ahead.
So there's a second story to this. So when we first moved here, there was like seriously nothing.
Where'd you move from?
California.
Monterey Bay, California.
I want to go to California.
So it was
Only go, because otherwise you're going to get poor just from the gas.
I've never been to California.
anyway. So we moved here. There was a bunch to do. So this was like my start of my video trying to become a pro at a young age, like straight out of high school. It would have worked if I kept up with it, to be honest. But so I was playing, and what we know as swatting right now was known as little shit talkers who are 12-year-old that have fucked my mom clearly 1,000 times.
Yeah, seriously. I remember getting on the Halo 3. I was just like, why is this 8-year-old playing this game, and why is he calling me a mofo?
That reminds me of a picture I saw online. Sorry to interrupt, but it's target audience, actual audience.
Yes.
Modern Warfare's target audience is people like us, you know, true
Adults.
Adults.
What's an
Actual
adult?
audience, 8-year-old. Pokemon, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. Target audience, 8-year-olds.
Actual
Actual
audience.
audience, me.
To be perfectly honest, so anyways,
I remember when it came out.
getting back to that story. So this kid harassing me every single game. I didn't mind. My KDR was quite flawless at the time. I didn't care. So he's like I would back out of the game from TDM, go to domination because I wanted more kills. Kid would follow me. Back out of domination, go to search and destroy. Why
He'd be
be more
right there.
strategic? Kid followed me.
He just followed you?
He followed me for 3 weeks straight.
You know what this kind of reminds me of?
And you know
Future
what he
Diaries.
said? All he cared about, when I would die, he would kill himself. And all he would say is, I fucked your mom last night. Have a fun night, you little faggot. But he would stalk me.
You know what this kind
Do
of
you
reminds me
remember
of?
his gamer tag?
Nope.
If you did, yeah,
Just follow it.
Out at him.
But it's guys, grow up. Seriously, if you have the nerve to stalk someone on Modern Warfare 2,
I feel so out of the loop because I'm
to
not really a gamer.
each game type,
I'm not
just
really
to
an
say
FPS.
that you fuck their mom and that they are a faggot, you have a problem. And
Such a
you
dirty
need to
word.
fix it.
Can I talk about under the radar games that people should buy?
Oh
Yes, go ahead. I like this.
Well, under the radar game, actually under the radar system. First of all, PlayStation Vita.
Hmm.
How many people actually own one in this room?
I think only one.
I do. He does.
I
So
don't
4
know.
of us?
I don't.
You got my hopes up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be playing that game though.
Anyways, PlayStation Vita. It's a.
I can barely afford a bag of weed. You think I'm gonna be able to afford a Vita?
Wow.
That's in the long run for your health. Trust me. That's pretty bad when a video game system is better for your health in the long run.
I defend all systems because they all have their strong points, and I
Yes.
will defend the Vita to a T.
Listen.
One, it's PS1 handheld.
Mhm.
With the PlayStation
Just
Network,
lately,
you
though.
do get to
That
you
just
do get to
happened
download
recently.
PS1 games. It was like that for the PSP, but the Vita just has the capabilities for it.
Okay.
2,
You said you defend every
system to the T because everything has their strong points.
even
There's positives and there's
Even
negatives
what?
to every system.
additions.
I will not defend add-ons.
Okay.
CDI.
I was gonna say CDI Connect.
Systems, but not add-ons.
Although that was a system, CDI was a system.
No.
Virtual Boy was a system too.
I will
No,
defend
you
that.
stop right there, good sir.
Lies! I will defend that and all 8 titles that they had.
What about those phone games that you had to buy a stereo phone in order to play them in Japan?
I will still defend
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Although it was like the
You
thing
mean
like
like Pokemon
T-Mobile.
Stadium 2?
Yeah. No,
It was
Nokia.
like the thing.
Nokia.
It was like the thing. Well, Nokia specifically made it for T-Mobile.
The Nokia
So
N-Gage.
whatever.
If you remember it, then you're fucking old.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, was that the brick?
Oh my
The
god,
little
are you
brick or-
serious? No,
It was
no,
a
no,
mobile
It was,
gaming
Oh,
device.
that's right.
It was
So
a
Nokia
phone
came out-
and it was a PSP before PSP came out. They had UMDs before UMD was copyrighted.
yes, legitimately.
This was-
like
That
Nokia-
actually that later
N-Gage.
on became the Neo
Nokia
Geo,
came
didn't it?
out with the
Nokia
N-Gage
N-Gage.
specifically for T-Mobile. This was back in like I want to say 97,
7.
98.
I was one.
It was 2003-ish.
Oh,
Give or
okay,
take.
that was 3-ish.
Okay.
And I was too busy playing Ruby.
So
Anyways, on to my title.
God, I remember that. Holy shit.
It's for the PlayStation Vita. It's called Soul
Don't worry.
Sacrifice.
Uh-huh.
It's on the same genre of Monster
Monster
Hunter.
Hunter.
It is a Monster Hunter. That is the genre of Monster Hunter. So we have Soul Sacrifice. That is a Monster Hunter type game. It does live up to its name too, its type of genre. It's a
Better than Ragnarok Odyssey.
way better than Ragnarok Odyssey. Plot point, actually what any base review will tell you is you're a prisoner stuck in a cell, waiting to be...
Wait, hold on a second. This sounds like an Elder Scrolls game.
Does anyone want to buy Under on
Here's
a
the
gift card
thing.
for $25?
Here's the thing, you don't actually physically leave this cell whatsoever.
You read this journal of this.
What happens is the first cutscene, and pretty much like one of 2 cutscenes, because this whole game made their selling point of gameplay, not cutscenes, is the guy next to your cell gets blown up because he's getting sacrificed, which is the main selling point of Soul Sacrifice.
Is you can
He's getting sacrificed to this almighty being named Magusar. Magusar is the bad guy. He's a douchebag. Cool, we know this. Once that cage gets blown up amongst the rubble, you find a journal. And it's a face on it. Think of like the Necronomicon, but this guy...
Oh, I'm hoping that when I go to Anime Land Wasabi, I see the Necronomicon again. Because it was at the Anime Land Wasabi 2 years ago, and I was like, give me a price, and I'm like, it's priceless. No, there is a price here, damn it! I will suck your dick to get this thing. I will be gay for 2.5 seconds.
Okay, let's talk about
to be
who wants to
honest.
be gay for
Hold
Sword
on.
Art Online because it's such a great anime.
I'm still
No.
Okay, hold
You're
on.
already gay! Anyways, with this title, you find the book, and the book starts to talk to you much like the
Technically, you
Necronomicon.
don't find the book.
The book
Yeah.
finds you.
No,
Pretty
the
much.
book lands into you
book is
underneath
already there.
rubble, and
Whatever.
he yells at you, and you
Okay,
you,
moving on.
He starts to tell you that he tells you the whole story of
His life.
it's not even his
No.
life. It's the
Magusar.
author's life of the journal. Like he's like the book talks to you, but the author is the one who's just like, okay, cool. So you start reading through this book, and unlike real books, this one actually reads to you, so you don't have to read it. You do have to go. It's not even painstaking. It's actually really good. If you like a good story, read through the book. Then you jump into what he calls a phantom quest. You start off as a sorcerer who uses offerings. Any game where you hear sorcerer, what do you immediately think? What are they supposed to have? MP, magic points. This game strives from that. You don't have MP. You have the life of your offering. Whatever you are trying to offer as this spell.
and it differs from every other Monster Hunter game. It's not you have a weapon.
You have
a class
You have
for that.
you have 6 offerings that you can take into a quest. These offerings have anywhere from, I saw like 20 to like 2 duration. That means you can cast that spell twice before it goes into critical point, and that critical point will break it. So unlike Monster Hunter, where you can just hack and slash, you have to think, what is good against this monster? What 6 spells are going to last me the longest? And you only have this 6 offerings to go in. Now you can actually take from the land. They're called land offerings, where you can summon a spell like once.
Yeah,
that's it.
But
then
heal you, recover your offering.
But anyways, the main selling point of this game, Soul Sacrifice, is that the whole thing is about choice, whether to save or to sacrifice. If you save, you build up levels. If you sacrifice, you build up a different type of level. And then you have, of course, neutral yes go.
Okay, when you said MP, the first thing I actually thought was magical penis. Not even gonna lie, I don't know where I got it from, but it's just like, boom, magical penis.
So
I was like, okay.
This is a game that
okay.
everybody
We're
should at
talking
least
about
look into.
If you own a
I've
Vita,
purchased.
it's a must sell, but you don't buy Soul Sacrifice. They have a Soul Sacrifice, Soul Sacrifice 1.5, I want to call it. It's not really a 2, it's called Soul Sacrifice Delta.
Monster Hunter.
It's
3
just
on
additional
Ultimate.
add-ons. Let's put it that way.
So is it
Game
like
of
a
the Year
chicken in a box
edition.
with a box?
No.
Unite. Monster Hunter
Monster
Unite.
Okay.
But for Soul
Yeah,
Sacrifice.
it's just additional add-ons.
There's a lot of cool add-ons. They tweaked a lot of the gameplay. One of the type of magic, throw magics, where you can conjure up like spinning blades and then throw them, got tweaked so much where there's an actual casting animation. You can't just spin.
Just pew, pew.
What else they did is, instead of having 6 of the same type of magic, okay, back to the throw magic. In the original Soul Sacrifice, if you ever played online, you would have people who would always fight over, oh, dark is better, light is better, neutral is better. Well, dark made their point where we can do the most damage in a small amount of time at the safest distance. Who cares about HP and defense when they don't touch me? Now, you can only take in 2 of the same type of offering. Instead of having 6 throw magic, you can only have 2, meaning now your duration of 14 casts per times 6 is 14 casts times 2.
Okay.
It's a great game to pick up. Look into it. It is under the radar. You know, if you didn't hear about it, then chances are you don't know about it. If you browse the store, you look across it, and you're like, oh.
But
no.
if you're a Monster Hunter player and you have a PS Vita,
Get that game. It's one
Get
of those
that
games
game,
to
get
get
that and
because
Unite.
it's not a letdown. Although you do have to go through the story, but the story is very, very. Can I have my mat tube back, please? The story is very good. The story is, not to mention the voice acting alone for the story is amazing. The main characters are purely well-written backstory, well voiced. The music itself is phenomenal.
so like if it came on a
It was-
CD,
it
you
was
would instantly be
actually-
searching for it to
Yes.
buy it.
Yeah, it was actually done at Skywalker Sound.
It was,
Okay.
music itself, sound itself is amazing. Graphics are
The graphics for the character models are amazing.
you have dodging in that game is possible. Monster Hunter is not
What
possible.
are you talking about?
Well, no, because you got to think about what we use compared to you guys.
Okay, first off, everything I use, I will not play in Monster Hunter anything that cannot dodge because I fucking
Dodge.
I could go through.
That's the thing. That's
you have
the
to
thing.
be. Your character has to be high in dodge though. You have to have like the stats
See,
and
You have
everything
to have
for
the
it.
skills
Here's,
for dodge.
here's the interesting thing.
The distance
I
for
went-
dodge.
I watched a review on both of these games.
Before
and they
you
did
start, they even have a category of spell designated for evasiveness if you
I'm the one that
can't
found this
dodge.
out.
See,
I found
but
this
to be
out.
perfectly
It's
honest,
so good.
I feel like with Monster Hunter, if you can't dodge, you're kind of.
Dodging is a form of movement
No,
in Monster Hunter. It's not
Mikey.
meant for dodging.
There are weapons where you literally cannot dodge.
Well,
Lance
that's,
and
something-
Gunlance.
that's not what I'm talking
No,
about.
Gunlance-
The
well-
capabilities to dodge, when you have them, if you cannot dodge, then you are kind of failing at dodging.
Okay. Let's put it.
Doesn't
this
help
way.
that you can't
Monster
dodge more than
Hunter,
a foot.
Monster Hunter. The monsters that tail spin. We're not talking about 3. We're not talking about Ultimate. We're talking about base set Monster Hunter. You could not dodge anything
Yeah,
in
that's
Monster
true.
Hunter. Period. They had to fix that, and it's still hard to dodge.
I've been grabbed underneath the monsters with tailspins, with
When you're
grabs,
underneath their
with other
legs,
stuff. Yeah.
you can get hit. That's the thing.
That's-
Even if you dodge in front of them, you're gonna get hit by their hitbox. Dodging is not possible in Monster Hunter unless you're dodging 3 times ahead before they even hit
Yeah.
you.
If they're coming right at you, you better start dodging real
Yes.
fucking
To be
fast.
perfectly honest, like Monster Hunter, it's really predictable. They all have set patterns.
Yes. And that's why, and going back to this review that I had heard.
Go.
And whatnot,
Review.
this is how the game works, graphic wise. This is very character detailed. Monster Hunter 3 is more environmentally detailed. With beautiful environments, but not so much on the characters. On the monsters characters, yes, definitely. The difference in the environments. Monster Hunter is an open world kind of concept to a degree.
Actually, we should put it like this, like a map. It's like
Yeah,
a
it's a
search
map.
fight.
Okay.
This is more arena stage.
It is an arena. You get put in the same area as the monster, so you don't have to hunt it down.
And it can't run away.
But at
Okay.
the same time,
But at the same time, you can't go anywhere.
yeah, you can't run away. So you're always in the fight with the monster.
Another thing with it is the sound. They're both amazing sound. They're both amazing plays. He likes this soundtrack a little better. I, on the other hand, I particularly like Monster Hunter 3 just a little better because it varies for every different monster.
Yes. Well, the
Ah.
same thing with Soul Sacrifice.
Yeah,
Every
it does.
monster does have a different type of music to go with it. But what captivates me with Soul Sacrifice is the menu music.
Yes,
There's
the menu music
multiple.
is really good.
The whole game is based around menus.
Yeah.
But once you get through the story, the telling of the story and how the music changes,
There are
the
times where it's
dynamics
like you
of the
sit there
music,
Mhm.
you know, you get the. This has a story where Monster Hunter doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't say Monster Hunter does have a storyline based around it, but the actual story and the dynamics that you need to use music to set the mood for this story makes it phenomenal.
And the way that it works at that, you just have the village one, and then you have the monster ones,
Yeah.
and the environment ones. There's no real play off of that or anything else like that.
Sound effects, so just sound basic wise.
It's a little
All right.
better.
So we got Soul
But-
Sacrifice as a game. Definitely everybody should check in on
Soul
just to see.
Sacrifice Delta. Make sure
Delta?
you get the Delta.
Yeah.
It's on sale for $15.99 instead of $39.99 when I bought it. So buy it.
Okay, you know what? That's still a good price.
Yeah.
It's a very good price. It's got a lot of stuff.
It's
in
fully
it.
updated. It's 1.3 is the fully update. They're done with Soul Sacrifice. We still get little in-game DLCs, but every major update is done.
Yep.
All right. And you,
The last thing that I want to finish on, this was the main thing that he came out with the gameplay. Whereas Monster Hunter is more skill-based, you have to dodge the monsters, you have to figure out, you have to learn their moves and whatnot.
and you gotta learn your weapon.
This is more strategy-based.
It's
This is
very-
more...
And it's unpredictable at all times.
She closed after you went up there.
Yeah.
It's unpredictable at all times. That's why I like Soul Sacrifice.
Yeah.
The monsters don't have a set pattern. They can use any attack at will. They have a percentage to use whatever they want, whenever they want.
Then you'll
however
have
they want.
Gemini's random. There is always a chance that the random
Bahamut.
Bahamut will
There's
just drop
random
in.
encounters come in. You know, it does make it hard.
All right.
Stuff.
So, under the radar game, look it up. It's called Soul Sacrifice Delta. Don't get the first one. Make sure it's Delta. You will be disappointed with the first one, just because the online capabilities with the first one are gone. And it's a great game to pick up. It's one of those must-have titles if you do have a Vita. I do personally think it's way better than Ragnarok Odyssey as a monster hunting type game.
Alrighty.
Crazy that you guys figure out ways to do it.
Alrighty. We're gonna move on to another subject here real quick.
A little crazy.
Let me ask you a question. We all have our favorite movies, right?
Yeah.
We all have a list of favorite movies.
Planet Terror is the best movie.
Now, do you want to see any of those movies remade?
I'd love to see Planet Terror.
Remastered or remade?
Like completely, Hollywood comes up as like, we got this actor, we're gonna
I've had
completely
the
remake this
trash
movie.
remastered too
Completely
many
remake
times.
this movie with this guy playing the main character.
Are we talking about Batman? The Batman subject that I just saw?
No, this is
Because Batman's getting, or Christian Bale's getting replaced by Ben Affleck.
Oh,
You know this, right?
Yes,
You
we
know
all
this,
know
right?
this. We all know this.
Yes.
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 Whoa, where have I been?
No, I'm just so
Ben
sad
Affleck would be amazing.
I wonder how
RoboCop.
Christian Bale's gonna been afflicted by it.
Oh.
Third joke of the day. Third joke. I snuck that one. in
But
there.
just recently, it's come to my attention. One of my favorite movies, it's a cult classic, Escape from New York.
Oh my God! Here we go again.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever mentioned it in front of your face, so
Nope.
you can sit back and
Nope.
relax.
Who's Dr. Pelipper's name?
That's fine.
I want it.
Anyway, there are 3 rumored actors up for the role of Snake Plissken. Now, Snake Plissken and the Escape from New York and Escape from LA, amazing, just testosterone-filled movies where you have one guy, mullet, eye patch, leather everything, just going around blowing
Looks like
shit
my pick
up.
of porn.
Like I said, here we go again.
Okay, here,
Oh
Snake
my
Plissken
God.
is so cool that in Escape from LA,
Funny.
he's in this like great giant canyon-sized ditch, and an earthquake has just happened, and he's there with this surfer
Earthquake.
and he's there with this surfer hippie guy in the middle,
With.
who gives him a surfboard.
Okay, so hold on.
I knew this was gonna get laughed out of all of you.
So hippie surfer guy gives him long wood.
It's like long bitch, and then I'm just like, well, this is going downhill.
So what kind of macho movies are you watching?
Apparently
Look it up.
testosterone filled.
Trust me. You watch this movie, you're like, this guy is fucking badass.
And he's testosterone filled.
Just-
Look at that.
He has a bad ass.
Now,
according
there-
to your
I know nothing of this movie. I'm sorry.
It's okay, I understand.
It's funny. This is funny.
Look, this movie was made in like the fucking 80s, okay?
Okay.
There is no.
fucking 80s.
There,
Also censored to goddamn
Yeah.
hell. Who wants to watch that? From the 80s, it's censored to pieces.
Shake weight.
These are the fucking 80s.
this is a completely 80s movie, okay? You look at it and like, yeah, I can see where this could be a gay porno.
Mullet. You just said mullet at the very beginning. Testosterone filled with the mullet. 80s gay.
Covered in leather.
Covered in leather. 80s gay leather porn.
Before
Yes.
he gets long wood from a surfer guy.
Seriously, that's just the plot twist. Look at this long wood.
We're in this
I got my
with
surfboard.
long wood. What are we gonna
Now,
do with this?
now Hollywood is planning on remaking this movie. I don't know if they want to remake the entire series. I think there's only been 2 movies made out of it.
How X-rated?
This better be fucking R-rated.
It's going to be
No,
A.
no,
It's going to be A-rated.
If it's PG-13, I'm burning down every single fucking movie theater.
You know why? You
From
know why
here
it's
to the
gonna be
West Coast.
PG-13? You know why it's gonna be PG-13? Because that's exactly what they fucking did with RoboCop.
No,
They're gonna play it.
Yes,
fucking
RoboCop
safe.
was PG-13, the newest
No
one.
way.
Wasn't
Yes.
it supposed to be
That's the
X-rated though? Like
The original one.
The original
was
one.
X-rated.
Shit.
And they were going for a hard R rating, and that was the thing. They were like, "Oh, we went too far," and then they had to edit out a bunch of shit. This new one's just like, "We're gonna play it safe."
Well, yeah, they get down.
And
in
it
the-
was shit.
They get
because
down
of
in
it.
the original RoboCop, right? There's,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in the
There's
original.
some woo. Yeah.
Like,
You see
Here,
weird
gay porn.
There's good sex in that movie. There's good sex in that movie. It's
all
not
I'm
bad
saying
sex,
is,
it's
how
good
come we
sex.
never see a rated
It's
AO
good
game?
sex. It's good.
You
sex.
do, but they're in certain places, and most big companies will not sponsor them.
No, we will not do anything over.
What was the
R-rated.
last one that came
The last big AO-rated game?
What?
Wasn't there a rape train game? That
What? And I have not heard of this.
Time out. What are those little things on your game that you play with the music? What are they called? Shit, what's her name?
No,
Vocaloids?
it was not. It was not.
It
a
looked like
Vocaloid.
her. It looked like
It
her.
was not a Vocaloid.
It looked like a Vocaloid, just saying. And I saw this on the media years ago, but the last
Oh, they have adult games of those. Trust
the
me.
last
you
one that I
don't
saw
look very
was you
hard.
can buy in Japan. It was like seriously, it was a train rape game. Like you could go up and molest these bitches on a train in Japan, and
Yeah, you know, here's the problem. I can go on the internet and play that shit for free, and I don't have to spend the $16 to get it.
I'm just
Not
saying,
to mention get a jailbroken version of it so I can play it on my PS2 or anything.
So are you telling me
there was a PS,
there's a
it was
game
PC.
for hentai?
Yes!
There's a few.
There
are several.
That was
Yes.
released.
I'm sorry.
That was
the
released,
media.
not within the U.S.
This
but
happened when I was in the military. That's why,
That's
because
meow
I wasn't
meow.
supposed to be watching TV. I know I wasn't supposed to be watching it.
It's
But
because
yes,
Japanese people are very, very.
there was a date. There was
Yes, they
a
are.
train.
But they have
wreck
to
thing.
censor it all. That's the funny
No,
thing.
no, no,
We're
no, no,
prude
no,
about
They
it. but we gotta-
lightly censor fluids.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
No, we weren't talking about
Weird.
that. We were talking about the movies.
I
Anyways,
wouldn't say weird.
but yes, I saw it. It was a couple of years ago. And the
Strange.
media
Oh, okay.
told me about it.
I remember it now. The last game that everybody knew about that got an AO rating was the Xbox version of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That was the last publicly known game, but that was only because
It was pushed for the AO rating, and that was because of the hot coffee mod that somebody made.
yes,
And it was
that was the only
and it wasn't
reason.
even for the 360.
It was for
just for the PC.
No,
because
first it
PC
was-
games
no,
are
first it-
easily modded.
First of all, it was
What was that?
originally on the PC version. Then they somehow made it to where it could be modified to go onto the original Xbox.
Okay,
They
so
should
what was
modify
that?
the new one.
What was that mod?
Go in the strip
The
club.
hot coffee.
The hot
mod.
coffee mod.
That's
Okay,
what
you
it
say
was.
you
Okay,
say
which did
easily
what?
modded.
They're recoming
It's-
Grand Theft Auto 4, what?
Fucking
Xbox?
teaching a baby how to
360
fart
was what it came out,
easy.
right?
Yeah!
So you
You
can
can just
see
take
things on the
whatever code you
PS4
want and just add it.
No, it's on.
There's
no,
a
they're
mod-
coming out with it.
There's
for
a
the
Monster
PS4.
Hunter mod
Oh,
for Skyrim.
They're coming out with Grand
P-
Theft Auto 4
Five.
the PS4.
5 on the PC.
No, they're bringing it out on the PS4 again. I want the hot coffee.
By
mod.
the way,
That.
did you
If
speaking
you
of
go to the
mods?
strip club on the new one, you can see all the
Did you
titties
see
you
the
want
mods?
to see.
But speaking of mods,
Everything.
did you happen to actually look up that Monster Hunter
They're recording
mod
it
for your
PS4.
Skyrim? 'Cause
I
hadn't
did-
told
I
you
did.
about that.
I did, yes, it's there. I'm like, I can download it, but I don't have enough memory for it.
Or what?
Yes.
They're like a great
Okay, well,
thing,
back onto the
draft
movies.
Everything.
That's
Oh wait, we're talking about mods now? Okay.
Oh no, wait. Back on to the movie remakes.
Back onto his
Now-
hard wooden surfer.
Yes.
Oh yeah, back to your gay porno.
And the deep ditch.
Okay, listen. He surfs the. He gets on the surfboard, and him and the hippie dude they
Uh-huh.
surf on the wave
Uh-huh.
all through downtown LA.
Yep, they
All
got
right,
the surfer
now-
all the way to LA, huh?
Yes.
All the way
All the
to
way.
LA.
They right through the deep ditch.
Now, how would you guys feel if some of your favorite movies were remade?
They were. They are horrible.
I think
I didn't mind the Ninja Turtles. I'm
If
gonna
they
say that
didn't-
right now.
if they didn't fuck it up, then I would like to see some of them remade, to be honest.
Nope.
Which ones?
The Jacket.
The Jacket.
It's a under-the-radar indie film
Uh-huh.
called The Jacket. It's great, but I just think it needs a little touch.
So you want it to be that remade with the Hollywood budget?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Because if anybody's ever seen it, I'm going to advertise this one too. Time traveling, but in the coolest way ever. Drug-induced time traveling. It's drug-induced time traveling. See,
That sounds pretty cool.
See, my problem is all my favorite movies have been remade and they make them fucking horrible. And the one that they
I know, I
haven't
saw.
remade or remastered, because they have fucking remastered Return of the Jedi about
No,
five
we're just-
frickin' times.
No, we're just talking
I
remade.
know.
Remade.
But they've already remade RoboCop and it was horrible. They already did
True.
another remake of Great Gatsby and they ruined it, even though they
I
had
don't
an
know, it was
amazing
pretty
cast
good.
for
I don't
it.
know. Me and
No,
Bobby
the
could
cast
be
was
good.
amazing for it, but they backed away from the story so much, so that we
Not
had these
really.
amazing visuals that it
They purdied it up
That's
That
how
was
like a
they do it.
It
whore.
was just a visual.
like a whore.
It
Yes.
was a visual sense.
Dotty like a
Wow.
whore.
Wabi-Kun? Movies that you wouldn't mind seeing remade if they were remade well.
Define movie.
Not porn.
Not porn.
Like he just described porn.
It's not an actual porno.
But
Describe it one more time, please.
All right. In one of the scenes, after Snake Plissken escaped from a jail cell,
Jail cell.
listen,
Jail.
he escaped after an earthquake. He comes to this giant crack in the middle of LA.
Crack.
Meets this hippie surfer dude
Hippie
Gay
surfer
lover.
dude.
Gay lover. K.
who gives him a surfboard.
Gives him a surfboard.
Long
Gives
wood.
him a surfboard.
Long
They
wood.
then surf a tsunami wave all through
Surf
LA.
Surf a wave, huh? Is that another term for
Riding out the storm.
Okay, so
On which he then sees one of the other characters who betrayed him, jumps from the surfboard
so he
into
sees
this
a
guy's
seaman.
car, and beats
Into his car! He jumps into his car!
He gets off of one wood and goes into the car. Got it.
Wait, you're missing
He's in
a
this guy's
boring
car.
part. He sees a man. He sees man.
because he jumped off the hardwood into the car and beat the guy off. That's what I heard.
and he beats the hell out of the guy.
Beats him off.
No.
Ooh, the Westboro
Joe,
needs to
he's
subscribe
semen.
and hate this video.
Anyways, continue.
And then next thing you know, he's hang gliding,
Hang gliding.
shooting an Uzi.
Uzi.
Got
Shooting.
So we're gliding.
Yeah,
Uzi.
shooting an Uzi.
Oh, hold on. Before this, I think he meets a transvestite.
Flips it all.
Because he slowly feels up this person's leg, reaches in between, and then pulls out a gun.
His leg.
This is my rifle.
No,
this
well,
is my
okay,
gun.
hold on. Here's the line. I think if I remember the line correctly, he reaches up, grabs the gun, pulls it out. He's like, "I see you're still packing one."
You should have just stopped while you were ahead.
Yeah, just stop while you're ahead. Anyways, back to the subject of movies being remade. Horrible.
That sounds like the gay porn I watch on a daily basis. Just saying, if I could actually get to the
The 80s were a strange time. For anything that was seen as too manly nowadays could probably seem a little bit gay.
So what movie would you like to see remade?
I don't know, because favorite movie-wise, like, my movie that has already been remade, like, a few times.
Which one was that?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, but
It's
that
actually-
all was horrible.
Not all of it was horrible. I liked the movie. I'm a big horror fan. But
See, but
that movie's already been remade, like, 4 different times, so I don't know. Honestly, I'd have to come back to me.
Alright. Wabi-Kun, back to yours before you have another stroke.
Oh, it's funny as fuck. I don't give a shit what you say.
Wait until you watch the actual movie, you'll just be like, oh god.
Okay, so anyways, define movie.
not that.
Let's just start your movies from your childhood.
Movies from my childhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be live action or anime.
Okay, so my childhood started
He
when
still
I was
is
like,
living his childhood though.
I was like 7, and then I started playing Call of Duty when I was like 10.
So let's talk
So
about...
there's
hold
a
on.
3-year gap there.
Hold
and I
on,
didn't
let's
watch a
talk
lot of
about
movies.
childhood. What was the very first movie that you remember watching as a kid?
Lion King.
Would you want to see that remade?
No.
Okay.
But Samuel L. Jackson as Mufasa.
No.
Damn.
No.
See, no, that's like me. Like the other films I really love that they could remake. I would never want them to, and now I definitely don't want them to. But it was Hook.
What was that movie
Oh,
with the 2
yes.
little rats that explored everywhere? It was like Little Something. That was the Disney movie.
The 2 rats that explored.
The
Oh, the
A little
Rescuers.
bit. No, the
The Rescuers.
yeah, the Rescuers.
And then the rest
It's Down Under.
Down Under.
Yep,
Yeah.
that movie. I actually want to see that remade. Not remade, I guess, just like retouched.
Another one.
But we're talking remade, like completely new cast, completely
Well,
new. Okay.
Bloody no.
I don't want to see no gay porn like you.
You should have said Cranky No. Well, I
Okay.
mean that would have gone with.
Yeah, I think remaking Hook for sure would kind of be an insult to Robin Williams.
Well, not only that, but Dustin Hoffman. Could you imagine anyone else as Captain Hook?
No.
He did such a good job as Dustin Hoffman. Also, it would be an insult to what's his name? It's Bob. It's gonna drive me crazy. No, he was the guy.
Oh
who
god,
played
is Bob,
Smee.
is Bob
He
Saget
died.
is Bob Saget still
Yeah.
doing stand up?
I don't know.
If he is, I want to get a ticket because I heard his shows
So
are
now
fucking
that we're
hilarious.
on the subject of remaking, what about video games? What video game would you want them to either remake or re-release on a new system?
They're already doing the Resident Evil. Resident Evil 1 is being
They've
re-released
done
and
that
redone.
every time.
Every system.
It's on the Vita. It's on the Wii. It's on the.
I know, but that's just something I'm
GameCube.
excited for.
Majora's Mask needs to be remade right now.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I don't give a fuck what you said. That was my favorite
But
Zelda
what's
game.
this stuff?
To be honest, the Wii U.
I would like to actually see it on the 3DS.
You know,
I don't link to
I don't
that,
think
so-
it'd be bad on either or.
I
I actually enjoyed Wind Waker remake.
No, it's screw it. I want Crash Bandicoot back.
No.
Yes.
They kind of killed me.
I agree. No, I agree.
They killed him with the racing games.
I want to see Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars
Yes.
not only remade,
Yes.
but re-released on, you know, a
Mario
big
Yoshi's
platform.
Island.
How
They
was
just
the
came
new
out with
Yoshi's
it.
It was
Island?
on the Wii.
How is it?
It was released, but it's not remade.
I know.
I want to see it remade, you know,
I know.
touched up, you know.
They did.
It's a new
Super
video
Mario.
game.
I mean, shit, they're doing Final Fantasy VII finally. They're doing
Did they announce
They
that?
did announce it. They're doing Final
I
Fantasy VII for the
did not like
PS4.
that.
Okay, you know what? That just might make me
See, I want them-
finally break down and save money.
Yeah, I want them to redo like new cutscenes, voice act. I want them to go full out Final Fantasy VI.
I just want a Gundam game, goddammit.
I
And a
would
good
not-
one.
New Mortal Kombat game.
Well, if we actually look at it,
But they release those every year now.
7 and onward
Yeah.
have not had a re-release yet, so there is a possibility that we
Yeah,
could
you're
get
right.
those.
6 has gotten remakes of
Yeah.
the was. But 6 is the only one where the actual composer actually wrote out an opera piece for the game.
All the music, all the opera. Well,
They actually translated it, and they actually did a 10-minute version of it.
So which was the one that
extended
came
for
out
one
just
of their
for PC?
concerts.
Original? No. Final Fantasy didn't have.
I don't think
Originally for the PC would be 14, but then they re-released that for the PS3.
So which
Yeah.
is the one that has Shintoto in it?
Shintoto is Final Fantasy 11, which came out when PS2 had its internet box
Yeah.
capability.
Okay, yeah.
Which 11, by the way, was great if I could ever play it.
Okay, now games and movies that we want to see remade. Games and movies that we
Okami.
don't want to see remade.
I want Okami to be remade.
Okami would be amazing remade, especially for the Wii U. Just
Exactly.
imagine doing the brushstrokes
Yep.
on the.
So what was
On
it?
the
Game
No.
Games and
They
movies
already
that you
did
don't
that.
want to see remade.
They did it with the Wii.
Yeah, but
I
just
feel
on
like
the
it would
pad.
better be Wii U.
Like you look at
Recognize.
these movies and you look at these movies and games, you're like, don't touch that. They are fine. Does my system still work? Yes. Don't touch these.
You know what? I'm actually kind of upset that they're re-releasing the Kingdom Hearts line.
Why?
Just because they're not re-releasing the good ones.
Just
Just saying. I mean,
Was
Birth
there a
by,
problem with the good ones?
Birth by Sleep is a good one that needs a re-release because it's crucial to the storyline.
Hey, at least they didn't
365
release
days.
Recoded.
They did all the cutscenes for it, but I mean the gameplay.
Let's be
The
perfectly
gameplay
honest,
was
guys.
still good.
They didn't release Recode. That's all
I'm
that
just
matters.
upset that they right?
I'm trying to remember
Chain
what
of
was it.
memory.
Oh
When
my
they announced-
god, I swear to god, those two.
They did re-release
They
Chain of
did.
Memories
PS2.
for the PS2.
Hold on a
Right,
second.
if you wanna
Quick
borrow
segue.
it.
I remember how many years ago was it that they announced Kingdom Hearts 3 for the PlayStation 4? I think it was.
2 or 3 years.
They,
Yeah, and we haven't heard
They
anything
didn't
recently.
even release it then. They were gonna have Kingdom Hearts 3D was gonna be the third one. And it does actually move the plot forward, which people did not understand. And they all are gonna be left out of the loop when 3
Well,
comes
one of
out.
the things I recall was that someone meshed together the announcement of Kingdom Hearts 3 and the ending celebration to Harry Potter, where you had the three main actors. They're sitting there at the same table, just looking at the screen, and they kind of have little tears in their eyes. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 comes up. Their screen is them all crying, and then it puts an announcement date at the end. And the next picture is they're all hugging together like they're the happiest group ever.
Well, if you ask me, like, maybe how I worded it wrong. It's not that I'm upset that they're remaking it, but I think their timing for the remake is terrible. I mean,
Well,
that's 7 games that you should actually release all at once. So You can't, and in chronological order,
Yeah,
play
that's
the
the
game
hard part.
so you can actually get.
So you're asking
the
for like an
story.
anniversary package.
Yeah.
Well, what he's asking for, and this is what drives me crazy, is that they start off with Kingdom Hearts 1 when they really should start off with Birthday Sleep. And they should have gone Kingdom Hearts, Birthday Sleep, Kingdom Hearts 1, then Chain, then 365. No, 365 days.
Because 365 and Recoded were happening at the same time.
Okay. Well, and then you'd go on to 2, and then you'd go on to,
No, you're right. Recoded is after 2.
yeah.
It's
Okay, but what
But
games
then
and
they
movies
would
do
go
you
on
not want to see
3DS.
touched by anybody?
But I thought, wasn't Recoded during the beginning of 2?
Killer Instinct, because they're remaking that.
I know, we are so off topic.
Wait, what?
They're doing the Killer Instinct. They're finally
Didn't
bringing
they-
back Killer Instinct. But I'm upset about that for the simple fact that the original Killer Instinct.
What's crap?
If you look at it now, yes, it's crap, but the gameplay and the buttons are actually smoother than that of the classic fighting games, Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
No.
If it doesn't lag on an emulator, it's a better.
I disagree. Honestly.
You know what, Cam?
Okay, hold on. But what game and movies do you not want touched?
That's one Killer Instinct, but they're touching it.
Alright, and movies?
Cocksucker X10.
Where they have this guy, a lawn surfboarder who gives
Hold
him
on,
the
wait.
surfboard
Can I
in a
can I say
crack
something here
and
real quick?
Ride the tsunami wave through
Hold on.
LA.
Okay, listen up. Not too long ago, I think this was around 2 weeks ago, Kylie, the Goat Lord, Josh, and I went to Unmentionables. We went there, me and Josh were just walking around because...
store?
Yes. Kylie was looking around for more rave gear.
Oh, okay.
So we were
At the
there.
porn store?
Yeah, they have like the mesh stuff and
Okay,
like
so
the
I'm
glow
just gonna throw
sticks.
this one out there. Why are you so surprised? We go there like once a month.
Well, that's just because we need more.
Well, we were just me and Goat Lord were just walking around, kind of like making fun of like the giant ass dildos and the fucking machines and all that and the cupcake
Was
boobs.
the American Challenge there?
Yes, it was.
The 12-inch?
Mm-hmm.
Or not the 12-inch, the like 12-foot? No. Yeah.
What?
that's
No.
Yeah, it's
12
a
inch.
little
Yeah,
too.
it's like 12 inches.
Well, I did
Like
kind of
that
ask
big.
him what's the most like disturbing thing you have, and he ran into the back and he showed me this giant fist. It was like he's like, yeah, it's 24 inches big, and not only that, watch this. He reaches under, undoes like this little flap, turns it on, and the hand rotates. And he's like, I can set it for different speeds too. So like at first it goes nice and slow, and then it picks up, and then finally it's just.
Like you're just boxing something.
To be honest, I would not use that for its intended purpose.
That's a novelty item. That's something you show up to a con with and be like, yes.
Who wants to see my wrist twitch out?
Is that a fisting machine?
Yeah,
What?
but we had gotten there
No.
because she wanted some more rave gear, and I had gone because I had nothing better to do.
You wanted
and
a
they had,
dildo.
and they had like hookah accessories and
You
stuff.
wanted a dildo.
Moist fisting? What?
All right, Master Chef.
Games I don't want to be touched. Let me think here real quick.
He already has them all in mind.
No, I don't.
Oh my god, look at him go.
One game that I do not want to be touched. I feel like it's complete, it's done, it's ready. It doesn't need anything like that. Any of the old Zelda games. They don't need to. They can be remastered. They can be done in HD.
But now
like,
completely remade.
They're good. I feel like that was the problem with A Link Between Worlds. Felt too much like the original, and I felt like they were just trying to relive the glory day from it.
Okay.
It's past. It was done. Move on to the next one.
So what you're telling me?
Even the bosses were the same ones
Yeah.
in the same places.
So what you're telling me is you don't want to see a fully 3D rendered world of The Legend of Zelda. Just
No,
The
I mean,
Legend
like-
of Zelda.
I mean, like, it wouldn't be a bad thing, but like,
It would be terrible.
I know. I mean, it's just like, don't give me a 3D version of
A 3D version.
Link's The Adventures of Link.
Zelda 2.
It
Yeah.
doesn't need to happen. Like,
Sorry, I'm Bagu.
I'm sorry, it's one of those things.
Isn't that
I don't
just-
need a 3D world of Link's Awakening, even though it's the best Zelda game ever. I don't need a 3D
That is
version
up
of
to debate, good sir.
It would be
Okay.
kind of epic to see a 3D.
it. It would be, but it doesn't need to be.
All right.
Yeah.
And you have to ask yourself that.
Are you video recording?
Now, movies you don't want to see touched, and you can't include any of the new remakes.
It's kind of a hard question.
Chef kind of already stepped in.
Yeah, I mean,
Will you
like,
turn that off?
Did you just rickroll me?
one movie as a kid, one thing that I never want to see redone.
I didn't mean to touch it that time though. I was like, I'm
You know
gonna
what?
wait.
Travesty never needs to be redone. Never needs to be redone, never needs to be thought of being redone. If they decide to do another one, I'll go out and I'll shoot them.
All right.
Any more Yu-Gi-Oh movies.
Ugh.
They are so bad. Like, I have never walked out on a movie before in my life. Well, I was damn close on that first one. The second one was not much better.
What was the first one?
The pyramid one.
Ew, I never
Where's
saw
The
that.
Pyramid of Life.
Yeah,
I
where-
never
Like-
saw that.
No.
And
It's
then
better
the-
just watch the abridged version.
And then the
Yeah.
second one was the Bonds Between Times.
Yeah.
Was yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
How the hell did those get? You know, I'm not even gonna ask.
How
It's
they
like
got
a-
released out in America and the actual theaters, we'll never know.
Konami.
Konami, yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Wabi-Kun, movies and video games you do not want to see remade.
What is this?
Come back to me.
The only person we have is me.
Come back to me.
Okay.
Funny what he was talking about earlier.
Let me see.
What? Why does she have a machine gun penis? He's playing a game with a machine
We
gun.
were talking about
Who
the
doesn't like
princess
a
thing.
girl with a machine gun penis? Hold on, he's showing me this.
What game?
Oh my
What game is
god!
that? What game is that?
Sunrise Group. Actually, it's a very good fighting game, and it's a very good anime, and Funimation just dubbed it, and they released
Oh,
it.
nice.
So, there's my shameless plug. It's a very good, underrated fighting side-scroller. Just
Oh, Golden Axe.
no.
Video games I don't want remade.
Golden Axe.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't want GoldenEye remade.
Ugh, that was a terrible game, period.
I
But
don't want Nightfire
it was fun.
remade.
The
Nightfire
multiplayer of that was terrible. If you were the guy, the midget guy, nobody could ever hit you.
true.
Nobody.
If you're
Yeah.
Movies I don't want remade. Well, of course I don't want any of the escapes from movies remade.
Man with the golden gun.
I don't-
James Bond's gonna be remade.
I don't want any of the Chuck Norris films to be remade.
You don't want Game of Death remade.
I don't want any of the Bruce Lee's movies.
I already know that. Yeah.
Big
my
Trouble in Little China. Do not want that remade.
But it was so horribly.
To hell with you. That movie was awesome.
No, I said it's so horribly amazing.
Yes.
For no reason at all.
I would like to see the Lego movie redone because the ending just killed it for me. Have you seen the Lego movie?
I have seen the Lego movie. I actually
I
thought it was
don't-
okay.
I don't like the ending.
Knick-knack.
Just if you
What the
ask
fuck
me,
is Knick-Knack?
That was the midget from Man with the Golden
Yes.
Gun.
Oh.
if you ask me, it was a great movie until it just got weird at the end with Will Ferrell and the live action part and just the weirdness.
To where it would kind of become like an Inception.
Yeah,
Well,
Like
that's the
you're
whole
a
point.
world in where you don't move by yourself. Your stories aren't told by you. They're told by these two people.
the man upstairs, and like I had a feeling it was gonna go that way when I was watching it when they brought it up, but I just think they could have done the
Like
ending.
he saw the creator. I was like, wait a minute, Lego movie.
He saw the master builder.
I do have to admit when it brought up what's the main bad guy's name?
President Business.
Yeah, President Business. I did not know that was Will Ferrell's voice.
Yeah.
That I can tell you, it even looked like Will Ferrell.
Yeah, but I'm like watching it, like thinking like, whose voice is that? I'm
Oh,
like, I don't
Will Ferrell.
recognize
Like,
him.
and to be honest, like
Though to be honest, I instantly found Jonah Hill and Tatum Channing or whatever the fuck his name is in that movie.
Shane. But-
Tatum Channing was
but-
Superman. Jonah Hill was Green Lantern. If you could not see that, because they like he makes like Superman goes, oh God, please no, not another one. He's like, hey buddy, we're roommates. I'm like, That's them.
If you ask me though, like from there on out, any character that Will Ferrell plays is a douchebag.
Yep.
Have you ever noticed that? Like
Yep.
any of the movies that he's ever played in, he's always
Look
been
at
a douchebag.
Zoolander.
Zoolander,
Look at Elf.
Elf, he was still a douchebag.
he was a naive douchebag.
Step Brothers,
Lost Land, or
Anchorman.
Land of the Lost, or whatever.
I did kind of like him in Anchorman though.
He's still
I feel
a douchebag though.
he's
That's
a
the point.
douchebag, but he's an understandable douchebag. He's one of the most popular. He's got an ego to go with it.
Oh,
You expect that character to be a
all I know
douchebag.
about Newscasters, underrated movie, Morning Glory. It's just 2 hours of Harrison Ford being a dick. Just enough said.
There we go.
So I think a movie I wouldn't want to see remade is Too Long Fu.
Yes.
Has anybody
With
else
Wesley
seen that movie?
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, Patrick Swayze, and John Leguizamo.
Any movie by Patrick Swayze should not be remade.
As cross-dressers. That was epic.
John Leguizamo as the
As
drag
cheesy.
princess.
Wait, hold on. Did you guys? There was John. What's his name came out
Leguizamo.
on one of his stand-ups. He said, "Yeah, I got in a fight with the Patrick Swayze. We were in drag, and he was just mad because I looked the hottest."
Oh,
Ooh, that's an epic
that
movie.
movie
Just
is
P to
amazing.
the I to the N. Cess.
Latin mysteries. Patrick
So we got
I'm
a.
not a drag princess. I can live with that.
Oh,
That's a great movie. You guys need to watch it. If you haven't.
We have it on DVD.
Watch
just
it.
It's my
Wesley
dad's
Snipes
favorite
and
movie.
drag queen. Oh, that's epic.
Just Wesley. Yeah.
Okay. So we have our movies and video games that we don't want remade.
Okay,
Anything
should
with
I
Patrick
go now?
Swayze in
Oh
it.
gosh,
Should
no,
I go now?
wait. I just
Okay.
want to say this. I don't want to see this remade because I could see this actually being redone. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed this or not, especially with the new Annie coming out, but for some odd reason, we have to black every movie. Like, we have to make a black version of every movie, and that's what the new Annie is. It's the new black Annie.
Oh, you're talking. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
No, so this I do not want to happen, and I can actually see it happening because they would do it with a black family, and it's actually reasonable with a black family. I do not want them to do a new version of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh.
That would be so upsetting. I would be.
It would be.
I mean, could you? I can see them trying to do that.
I would be
Could
utterly
you
upset.
just see a Mrs. Butterworth fucking
Yeah, I mean
Black Doubtfire?
that's the horrible thing. It's actually reasonably conceivable that they would go that far.
You know what?
Like, I heard rumors of them wanting a black actor for Annie, but I was thinking, like, okay.
Why haven't I heard that?
I'm like, okay, I would be fine with. Oh, just make the entire movie black.
That was pretty much it.
You
It
know
was
what?
like when they did The Wizard of Oz, where Michael Jackson played the Scarecrow.
The Wiz.
The Wiz.
Oh,
You
God.
know what movie I would like to see redone with the Hollywood budget? Now that I'm thinking about it, Dragonheart.
No.
Yes.
can't get
Didn't
it
that
without
have,
the
like,
Sean
Kevin
Connery.
Costner?
You could still get Sean Connery to voice the dragon, but
Oh
I just
my
think
God.
with a Hollywood budget that they should remake that movie. The animatronics were amazing, and I think they could render it even better.
Hmm.
So you mean they just want to remaster
They just
it?
do it. Made
They
Jurassic
did.
Park.
Just remake it.
Remade it like 3D or something.
Yeah, they redid it 3D, which isn't hard.
Yeah, that's not hard to
I mean,
do.
they
Uh,
3D.
They did that.
It was
with
like when they
Jurassic Park.
3D Beauty and the Beast.
That was
A
epic.
couple
Well, they
years
did.
ago.
That was
amazing.
amazing. That was epic though, because it was like you could
I
touch
was-
the flowers.
I was I didn't get to go watch.
I'm
Lion
sorry,
King
but
in
Beauty and the
3D.
Beast is
They
my
had Lion
favorite
King in
Disney
3D.
movie.
What the hell was I? Was I homeless? I was homeless.
All right, we're gonna move on, I think, to our last subject. Wabi-Kun, you have something you want to bring up?
What?
What?
Sorry, you kind of just skipped me on that last one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so.
No, you said to skip you.
Yeah, and to come back.
Okay, well, we're gonna go to Wabi-Kun to get his take.
Okay, so movies that I don't want to be touched at all would have to be any of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. Because fuck, I don't mind the animation for the old ones, but when you bring in the new ones and you try to redo it and you change the whole plot and backstory shit, no, fuck you. It needs to stay the
Here's the
same
problem with
plot.
that. They
no,
are-
no, no, no.
Okay.
No,
But
it needs to stay the
what
same plot.
plot
They can
changed?
re-update. They just changed, like, really, like, who did he end up killing? Like, there wasn't really a significance.
I think in the new remake, what they did was he molested
Children.
He molested children. The parents found out. Like they had him arrested. He got out on a technicality because nobody was willing. Like none of the children were willing to testify. The parents went over and they killed him in his home. And then the entire story is about the surviving children who were molested by him, and
But
he's
it
haunting
didn't happen
them.
in their home, though. Okay, anyways, continue.
Yeah.
So that just needs to not like if they can like visual update it, that would be perfectly fine. That would be kind of cool. But like remaking it,
I think that's
No.
why it kind of like didn't take off from there either, because
Because you had all the other because
they
like
give it like the original live action Spider-Mans we got. They were just so shitty, but they continued with it. So they remade them, or not even remade them. They just made the Amazing Spider-Man.
they just hit the
and
redo
pretended
button.
that never existed.
The
They
problem
took a new.
was
They took a new actor for the new Spider-Man.
is that Tobey
better
Maguire
actor.
was
True.
not a good Spider-Man.
The original.
He's a great Nick Calloway because that's how Nick Calloway is supposed to be. That's not Spider-Man supposed to be.
Just saying, like
Spider-Man.
I think that's why it didn't take off.
In
like,
all honesty, you could have had Will Ferrell be Spider-Man, and it would have been the best Spider-Man ever.
because he's a douchebag.
Because he's a douchebag. But
Yeah, but Spider-Man isn't. Okay, hold on, wait a second.
He's
I'm
a
remembering the
smart
comics
ass.
now. He's a
What about M.
douchebag.
Night Shyamalama Ding Dong's
Oh,
fucking
Lord.
Avatar, The Last Airbender.
No, we don't
Anything
mention.
made by M. Night Shyamalan of a ding dong
Should be erased.
is crap.
I mean,
It's legitimate crap.
I like Signs. That was the only movie I liked from
Signs
him.
was crap. That movie was crap.
I'm just saying.
But it had Mel
Yeah.
Gibson. Just
No.
acting. Oh.
No.
M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong, just saying, if we could get the Air
Moo.
Shamalama if we could get Airbender actually remade better, not even remade, but actually like
Done better?
legitimately storyline, I think it would take off. But since they
I think they only.
changed Aang to Ong and Sokka to Sokka, it kind of just killed it
and
altogether.
it's kind of like the DBZ live action.
I think. Hold on, we'll get to that in a minute. I think what the problem was is that with Avatar: The Last Airbender and including Legend of Korra, was that you have for Legend of The Last Airbender, you have 3 seasons, probably at most 20 to 25 episodes each, and you only are planning on making 3 movies.
Well, you just do what J.J. Abrams did and you say, fuck you.
I created
I make all that non-canon so that way I can go do whatever I want.
Oh Lord.
Just saying.
Just saying.
But still, that's a lot of information you gotta put in because they did a whole lot of stuff. They
If
introduced
you could
characters.
make one Hobbit book into 3 movies and still devote less time to the book than you did for all 3 of the Lord of the Rings trilogies,
Speaking of like movies,
even
like,
with
getting
the extended movies, I think you're good.
Speaking of like books to movies, Twilight. I think Breaking Dawn honestly didn't need 2 movies.
But
Hold on.
We're doing that with everything now. I
And
looked
it
at
was-
the
Hold on,
list.
wait a minute. I will admit this. I have seen all the Twilight movies. Don't ask me why.
Honestly, I'm
But
not.
I have
not
never-
that bad to be
I
honest.
have never laughed so hard. I laughed extremely hard during Breaking Dawn Part 2. I
Honestly,
laughed my ass off.
I think Breaking Dawn Part 2 was probably one of the better ones.
Because part 1 was just the wedding and the honeymoon, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much in the beginning of her transformation.
I'm like, hold on a second. You wasted like an hour to hour 45 showing us the wedding
Yeah.
and
They
the
were-
honeymoon.
Yeah, and then to
The
have
girls,
to wait
you
an
gotta realize
additional-
the audience that this was for.
I have been to weddings that were shorter than that.
Hey,
Right, and
if we're talking about gay porn films, what about the part where Jacob is like stripping in front of Bella's dad? Just saying. He's just like,
And then
You better be going with someone with this boy. Oh, trust me, I am.
if that wasn't a gay porn line, I don't know what was.
But like, they've been doing that with all the movies. Because I just found out today, because I was reading through the magazine that we get every month at work, and they decided that they're going to do the Hunger Games, the last book for it.
No!
Too far! This November and next November.
No!
That's such crap.
The first part is going to be setting up for something. The second part's going to
And
show
that-
you
that
something,
is
and then no payoff at the end.
That is what's gonna piss me off the most about that now. is
Harry
because-
Potter didn't even need 2.
I know.
I will admit, Heart and Fire did not need to.
But they were good, but they didn't
Yeah.
need it.
I
mean, the first one was them running through the woods. The second one was they actually doing something.
Yeah.
I literally laughed the whole entire time because, like, I literally had this discussion earlier today with a couple of our managers. Because I found out that too, and I was just like, why is it? I told her, I was like, did you know a trilogy means 4 movies now? I didn't know that. I mean, I thought Trill,
Crap.
Part 1 and 2. But as long as they
three,
put
but
Part 1 and 2, it's still the same movie, just released.
Oh, that's crap.
We just
that
don't
makes
want to make a
sense.
4-hour-long movie. for
I would
people.
sit through a 4-hour-long movie as long as I got my
Like,
refills.
Sound of Music,
and they put
Titanic. They've done it before.
Why don't they do it again?
Because
Titanic was so long that they literally had to switch reels in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
And that's before it was all digital, so
Yep.
it was
Yeah.
reels.
and honestly, like that's just so crap about that now. Like that. See, why did you have to piss me off?
You just pissed me off by saying that. We're gonna hang you.
Actually, The Hunger Games was really good. Has anybody seen the second one, or is that out yet?
that is out.
That's out.
Okay, yeah, that I don't think I saw.
I saw the first one and I thought it was probably the closest you'll ever get to
Catching
an actual
Fire, Whatever it
adaptation.
is, yeah, it's a good one.
Though there was one scene where like the little black girl dies and then
Rue.
and then you go to the area that she's in and you notice that it's completely black. And they're in charge of like the grain and the cotton and all the farming shit. I'm like, wow, we're entering very deep territory here, folks.
So every time that I think of Rue dying in, Hunger Games, it makes me think of a parody that I saw. It just makes me laugh. Exactly. Exactly. So if you're on YouTube, look it up. It's just the Hunger Games parody. It's a bunch of if Hunger Games was pretty much ghetto, and it'll make you laugh. Just for the
If
fact
you want
that-
a review on the Hunger Games, go look up Lyle McDouchebag. He does like this. I forgot what it's called. What his series?
We
is
have
called.
given so many free plugs during this podcast.
Yeah, because this is where we get all our.
Does that mean these people like us?
No.
No.
That's why I'm saying too many free
I don't think
plugs.
Lyle McDouchebag likes anybody, but that's debatable.
Honestly, it's whatever.
Isn't his name douchebag though?
Yeah.
There we go. See.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end this because we have been going on for a long while.
What is
So-
that long?
It's been
2
a-
hours.
so.
2 hours and 22 minutes is what this one is timed at.
Yeah, well, that's with our.
So if you want
lower
something to
end.
fall asleep on, go ahead and put this on. Trust me, you'll definitely fall asleep.
There's just so much.
There was just so much that we covered.
And
not
we have some
covered.
news. Next week there will not be a podcast.
This one kind of covers it.
This one will kind of cover it because we're testing out new days. Because usually Chaos Games and More, where we usually do this, we try to do it on a Wednesday. Unfortunately, we have all our Pathfinder players, all our D&D players here, and they're all causing all kinds of noise.
D&D's gone.
They don't
On Wednesdays.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesdays when we usually
That's
try to do
why-
that, they're
that's
here
why
all
there's
night.
nothing going on. That's why it was so.
That's why we come here
quiet.
on Tuesdays. That's why we're going to try and switch it over to Tuesdays, because this is a whole lot better, because you're not hearing someone out there, kill the motherfucker, or, blaming their dice for, rolling a 1 when they need
Hey,
How many subscribers?
that
do we
was
have?
the whole day. And
15 at the
that
moment.
was 12 ones in a
15
row.
at the moment.
You have to
With the
get
way
me.
Facebook does their stupid ass thing, I'm not willing to pay the $5 extra to post our shit.
Gotcha.
Alright, if you have any questions or you want us to talk about anything, go ahead and comment in the comment box down below. You can also send us an email at erjproductions@hotmail.com, or go ahead and like us on Facebook and post there. Gentlemen, do we have anything else we want to say real quick as we leave?
Movies that don't need to be remade, Chucky. That is all.
Wait, I have bad news for you. I'll tell you later.
Mega Meow confirmed. Look it up.
Alrighty.
Westboro Baptist
I would like to
Church.
thank our beautiful gay duo, Joe and Damon. Thank you for joining us.
The ambitiously gay duo.
The beautiful.
Gay duo. Beautiful. We're beautiful.
Also like to thank our master chef for joining us as well.
Oh, the ambiguously gay duo.
Wabi-Kun, like to thank you as well.
Bro.
Okay.
And I am Don.
Bro.
I am Don Manta Ray. We'll see you next time, folks. Y'all have a good night.
Damon, play war with me.
Play what?
War.